thumbs up in 1 minute. Y'all are smoking it up today. It's freaking good. Ridiculous. Maybe. Braden, member for 4 months. Give me just a second, man. I'm gonna let Meg read emojis. Braden with the 4-month membership. Thank you. That is awesome.
Medium light skin tone blue heart.
Nah.
Benjamin Blue.
Nah.
Said Vicky Durham.
Y'all like emojis
said,
too
Scuba.
much.
Vicky Durham. Said hi Ben.
Y'all like emojis way too much for that.
Bill Coldem. Said hello Vicky. Soul Dasher Joni. Said hey.
100.
One Scuba Dude. Said hello, Vicky. People hugging.
That show didn't take long.
A Ghost of the Now. Said 3.5 hours. Shazam.
Yeah, 3.5
Andy
hours,
C.
man.
Said howdy, Bobby.
Andy C, how you doing?
Benjamin Bloom. Said 67.
67 thumbs up.
Misfit Train Fan.
Dang.
Said drive safe, Bobby.
Always
He
as
won
safe as
for
possible.
XMTV. Said yo, it's been so long, man. How you doing, G?
Doing pretty good.
WYOBT.
Who's that?
Said real quick. Andy C. Said howdy to everyone who just came in. One Scuba Dude. Said hey Andy, ghost, medicated. Baby Blue 80. Said nope, do believe that was a record on Mind Changes LOL.
No.
D Mike
I don't know about that.
Said Bobby, are you done for the day?
Huh.
Andy C. Said did they load it by hand?
They unloaded.
Carl Johnson.
This is an unload.
Said good evening, Bobby and gang. Number 68.
Good evening.
Relic Robert. Said are you heading back to Florida or Louisiana?
I'm not loaded, y'all. I'm empty.
Said Jeetsy Bobby.
Jeetsy. I'm empty, people. I'm
Benjamin
headed to the
Blue.
next pickup.
Said number 1 truck driver Bobby. One Scuba Dude.
Thank you.
Said hello, Baby Blue.
I'm headed to the next
Medicated
pickup.
Crazy. Said howdy Scuba. A Ghost of the Now. Said at one Scuba Dude hello. WYOBT. Said hi and Carl. CW Sharp. Said making up for your Florida vacation. D Michaels.
Reckon, man.
Said looks like it rained there.
Yeah, it
It's
does.
heading our way tonight.
It come down
Vicky
hard
Durham.
for just a
Said hi
minute.
Sharp.
Not very long.
Andy C. Said oh, I see. They unloaded on per nate at a time.
Yeah.
Baby Blue 80. Said howdy Scuba. H. Carl Johnson. Said hi WYO. Andy C. Said Keno. One Scuba Dude.
One kernel at a
Said
time.
sailboat fuel, no popcorn.
No popcorn.
Andy
man.
C. Said Colonel. Benjamin Blue.
One kernel at a
Said
time, man.
84.
84. Oh man, it's updating for me now. Right on.
CW Sharp. Said hey all.
Clearwater,
Relic
how you
Robert.
doing?
Said I'm guessing you are picking up in Texas.
Texas. Oh wait, man. Are you new? Who is that? Are you new? Don't run, man. You're not in my way.
He won Pers XMTV. Said yo, be careful of that Supercell G, it's a big one.
Who keeps
D.
calling me G?
Said no shirt.
I got
No
a shirt
shoes.
on.
No problem. Benjamin Blue.
No shirt, no shoes, no
Said
problem.
Walmart. Medicated Crazy.
Look at that rainbow up
Said
there.
their pallet jack had a flat tire.
Yeah, it did. Blown into it or something.
H. Carl Johnson. Said are you headed towards the border for pickup?
We're headed south.
Pimp J. Said watch out. Bobby and the gang coming through.
Yep, Jay, how's it going, man? Man, that sounds funny. Walmart loves their popcorn, man. So we got about a 2-hour ride.
Said it's me bikers, I haven't been on stream in months, like almost a year ago.
Oh, dang, man.
Benjamin Blue. Said honk. A Ghost of the Now. Said large warehouse here. He won Pers XMTV. Said in the I'm calling you H. He won Pers XMTV. Said G. Inferno 224. Said hey Bobby, tell that guy he can't park there. LOL.
You can't park
D.
there.
Michaels. Said we picking up sailboat fuel. Relic Robert.
Yeah, we just picked it up.
Said catch you later Bobby.
Alright, Robert, appreciate you telling me.
Baby Blue 80. Said darn couldn't see the rainbow.
Yeah,
Benjamin
it was
Blue.
your line.
Said then you. One Scuba Dude. Said restaurants always say no shirts, no shoes, no service, but say nothing about pants.
Huh. Interesting. Lord have mercy. Be right back.
Rick said, "Hello, Mr. Bobby." Rick said, "Ho, WYO. WYOBT. Said hello again, Rick. Benjamin Bloom said, "What, 93? Alcides Prieto said hello. One Scuba Dude said hello, Rick. Rick said, "I just get here and he leaves the truck. I don't think he likes me, LOL. Baby Blue 80 said howdy, Rick. H. Carl Johnson said, "Scuba, try it once without pants and see what happens. Make a short of it. LOL. Super car now. Said Street.
Ow!
Benjamin Bloom said, "I get to drive."
No, you don't. No, you don't. Alright, so we're headed down to the next pickup, which won't be till in the morning. They don't load on the weekends. I don't reckon.
There's a country song out. I don't know who sings it. He says, "No shirt, no shoes. No problem. Medicated crazy." Said he had to go crop dust. WYOBT.
Crop dust.
Said you're in the doghouse. Thanks for following. Kevin Towler said 98 likes.
98. Dang it, almost 100 before we got out of the parking lot.
WYOBT.
Who is it?
Said boom 100.
Boom! You guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen, are freaking awesome. Thank you so much for the first 100 thumbs up. We're right here at the Ride Along Gang. Really do appreciate it. Snatch some salt from the salty crew. Butter up that popcorn.
Said hello, Bobby and the Misfits.
Enjoy the rest of the ride.
Was for the clowns that are present.
Now we do love the Misfits around here. How much do we love the Misfits? Well, freaking bunches. That clown horn is for Benjamin.
Stacky said plenty of time to find a fishing hole.
Well,
Towler said boom.
it might get dark on me.
Said howdy, buddy.
I don't know.
WYOBT. Said eyes with card-shaped popcorn, yellow sprite smile, freaking bunches.
Freaking
Once
bunches.
buddy. Said hello again, buddy. WYOBT.
I looked.
Said hi, buddy. Buddy Reed. Said click it, or ticket. CW to sharp.
And there's
Said
actually
100 less than 13 minutes.
100 and less than 13 minutes. Let's
Said
freaking
afternoon,
go.
everyone.
Who's that?
Buddy Reed. Said hello, WYOBT.
Good afternoon,
GC.
everybody. Is me in here?
Buddy Reed. Said hello, Scuba Dude. Ozzy Baywatch.
Where's me at?
Said 111, make a wish.
Make a wish.
Benjamin
Baywatch, how you doing?
Said trunk on your light.
What?
Buddy Reed. Said hello, baby blue. The 1% TV. Said let me give a better description of myself. In the one with mystical cable thing in El Paso.
Yeah.
It's coming down the mountain in El Paso.
Yeah.
Start of 450 out.
I remember who you are. As soon as you said you hadn't been here in a while, I remembered who you was.
Said Daywatch.
It has been a minute, hasn't it?
Said hope everyone is having a great day.
Mr. Jeremy, how you doing? But yeah, I remembered
Hello, everyone.
as soon as you said you hadn't been here in a while,
Said hi, White.
and I heard the motorcycle in the name. I knew who it was.
Jen 48. Said hi to Bobby, not bad. 100 likes in 14 minutes.
That's pretty good, ain't it?
Phyllis. Said how's the day going?
It's going pretty good.
Said hi, Geo 79. One Scuba Dude. Said no me yet. He 1% TV. Said oh sweet.
Yeah, I remember.
1% TV. Said yay, I missed y'all.
I do pretty good at remembering you guys. I do.
Said hey, baby blue.
Even if you step out for a while. Now, Puzzle Piece, I didn't remember Puzzle Piece. I forgot that one.
Said howdy, Geo.
But I did after a minute or two.
Said good evening, Bobby.
Hey, how you doing? And I realized who it was too.
P1 presents MTV. Said, yay, love you, man, can't forget you.
Wow.
Kevin Tower.
That rainbow's actually
Said,
big.
where is Susan S. or Biscuit?
She's not here, man.
Said, good evening, Bobby, good evening, and everybody.
Dwayne, how you doing?
May. Said, hi, Scuba. WYOBT. Said, hi, Geo. Baby Blue 80. Said, he never remembers me, LOL.
I remember you. Come on, man.
Said, hot as a daisy here in Fayetteville 92. One Scuba Doo. Said, hello, May. Aussie Baywatch. Said, good day, Baby Blue. BT Bobby and Tasha. Buddy Scuba Doo.
Good day, Baywatch.
WYOBT. Said, Jeezy May. Geo 79. Said, Rain and Luna, Sunny and KR. Benjamin Blue. Said, me. Buddy Reed. Said, hello, Ozzy. H. Carl Johnson. Said, good evening, Dwayne. Aussie Baywatch. Said, hi, Dwayne. May. Said, hi, WYOBT. Phyllis.
That rainbow's up there. I don't know if y'all
Grab
can.
some dinner.
If you look right at the top left corner of your screen, you should be able to see that.
Dwayne Guthrie. Said, hey, Ozzy.
Just a little bit of that rainbow, not much. Oh, it's a double rainbow.
A ghost of the now.
It's a dang double one.
Said, people get busy from time to time.
Yeah,
She'll
people
be
do.
back. Hello, Voltage.
Hello,
Said,
Voltage.
KFC biscuits.
I know, that would have been good, wouldn't it?
Said, hi, Carl. Rick. Said, well, the gang's all here. H. Carl
We got lots of
Johnson.
people here.
Said, Bobby, how does Heber handle fireworks?
He don't like fireworks and thunder
Said,
much.
Tom Corner. Rogers. Said, good morning at Aussie Baywatch. Andy C. Said, did Walmart DC have a chill GameCube? A ghost of the now. Said, I see some rainbow.
They got a
XMTV.
taco truck back there at that
Said,
one.
it's beautiful, oh my. WYOBT. Said, not quite. 2 angels missing.
Oh, what a lightning bolt.
79. Said, I see it. Dwayne Guthrie. Said, hey, baby blue. Kevin Towler. Said, did the power go out in Texas?
I don't know, man. I'm not in Texas.
Said, I see it.
You see it?
Dedicated
I don't know. I thought you
Said,
was
just
able
had
to.
KFC and the tea. Aussie Baywatch. Said, 10 to 10. Mild cool day.
10 to
In
10.
Kirby Bay. Whales everywhere.
Dang. Whales everywhere. We got 10 to 6.
Said, the up button is crazy. Andy C.
83 degrees according to the truck out here.
Guthrie. Said, hey, Geo. Aussie Baywatch. Said, hi, Roger. May, Sunflower. Buddy Reed. Said, big giveaway. Thanks for following.
Big giveaway. Thanks for following. I'll be dang, man. Thanks for following. Thanks for following, man. I really do appreciate it.
Dead 69 dead. Thanks for following.
Dead? 69 dead? Thanks
Said,
for
Bobby,
following.
where you been? I've been all over YouTube and ain't seen anybody looking like you. LOL.
Where have I been?
Said, hi, Aussie Baywatch.
I went to Lance and Amy's.
Said, YOBT. Andrew L. Said, they'll pass you on that on ramp, rush hour, or no.
That's where I was hanging out at.
Said, stop yelling, LOL. WYOBT. Said, hiya, Dwayne.
I gifted some memberships over there, and some people from here, I don't remember who it was, got
Said,
a
hi,
membership. I'm not sure who it was I gifted.
Benjamin Blue.
Somebody got a membership
Said,
though
Geo
that I
79.
recognize. I just don't remember who it
Said,
was.
hi, Dwayne. Rick. Said, hi, man.
It's a beautifully wet afternoon out
Baby
here.
Blue 80. Said, howdy, Dwayne. Dwayne Guthrie. Said, hey, Rick.
There is a place where I'm going. It's not very far. I think it's like 3 miles from where I'll be parking at. That's got an awesome amount of catches. But by the time I get down there, it's going to be too close to dark to...
Said, I'm not sure who you're talking about.
I don't know. I don't remember who it was. It was some...
Molly Davis.
Oh, Lance and Amy.
Said, hi, Bobby. I'm back watching now.
Traveling paparazzi.
Said, a Dwayne Guthrie head.
Oh, hello, Voltage. gifted out $2. Thank you. That is awesome.
Andrew L. Said, are you always in New Mexico? LOL.
No. In the summertime, though, my loads originate out of New Mexico. In the summertime.
Baby Blue 80.
They originate out of.
Said nice hello voltage.
Our sole purpose is to pick up loads from this New Mexico spot all summer long, and they go to the southeast all summer. It doesn't deviate.
Said BR Jeetsy.
So what I do is, where I'm going today is where I pick up the loads. They go to the southeast, be in Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, South Carolina, and Texas, and then they ship us back to this spot up here, or down here where I'm headed to pick up another load to go back out to them same states.
James Ewing.
And it's all summer.
Said, hey, Molly BT.
It's almost like a dedicated route, but it's not dedicated to the exact same states or locations. It's just those particular number of states they are dedicated to. I don't go west. I don't go north. I don't go northeast. It's, well, last year I did run a run up to Cheyenne, and I did run a run up to Missouri, which was way off track. That's the only time I've ever done that with these guys in the summertime. It's the only time. I've never done it before that, or so far I hadn't done it after, but I may do it this year. I don't know. I think it was Missouri.
Said dedicated commodity.
Yeah, it's dedicated in the summer.
Said why short. BR. Said James. Hello Bolton.
Kinda dedicated.
Said hey Rick, I'm a Rick also.
Not so dedicated that I go to the exact same spot, but
said nice.
I do go to the same, like 10 cities ish. It might not be 10, but it might be 5. It might be 5 to 10, the same 5 to 10 cities all summer long. And then usually I get a load to Molly, how you doing? I usually get a load back to either Albuquerque, Los Lunas. This time it was Dallas, but from Dallas to Los Lunas. But they usually, or El Paso, that's usually where they bring me back to get this load here and go back out.
Said he is like a coal train, but not coal face blue smiley. WYOBT.
Dang it, man.
Said I know a slick Rick in here too.
There is a slick Rick in here somewhere, sometimes.
Said hi Rick.
Did I pass the loves up? Sure did not. Maybe I hope I did. Well, if I did, I just did, but hopefully I didn't.
WYOBT.
Oh no, I didn't pass it up
Said
yet.
hi a ghost.
Because there's the railroad tracks we're crossing over now. So I hadn't passed it yet.
Susan S. or Biscuit.
There's Biscuit.
Said hops in. Hiya Bobby and Misfit Gang.
Biscuit, how's it going?
79.
Somebody's been asking
Said
about you
no.
for days and days and
Molly
days.
Davis. Said doing okay Bobby, just very stressed.
10-4, I'm stressed.
Said no. Molly Davis. Said hey Susan. Rick. Said Bobby, I sent you mail. LOL, a dumpster fire in my town.
Oh, Lord have mercy, I'll check that out. I've not been in my email in about a week.
WYOBT. Said Susan Hard Hands. Susan S.
Yes.
or Biscuit. Said howdy Molly. A ghost of the now. Said a WYOBT hello. Rick. Said hi Susan. Susan S. or Biscuit.
Susan.
Said WYO. Smiling face with 3 hearts. Smiling face with 3 hearts. Benjamin Blue. Said hi Susan. Geo 79.
I guess I'll get me an Arby's.
Said it's at his Isla to Love S.
What?
Edward S. Said my senses tell me you are headed to Las Cruces. CW you're sharp.
Some are
Said
close.
they must have a lot of popcorn trees in New Mexico.
They do.
Susan S. or Biscuit. Said howdy Rick.
Popcorn
May.
Farms.
Said hi Biscuit. A ghost of the now. Said Biscuit into house. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said hey Ben B. ER. Said Susan. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said hiya May. Ozzy Baywatch.
Good Lord, look at all them
Said good day
emojis.
Susan.
I'm glad I
Susan
didn't leave
S.
them
or
on.
Biscuit.
Man.
Said hey BR. One scuba doo. hello Susan smiling face with 3 hearts people hugging.
So yeah, I won't have to do any driving tomorrow to my pickup in the morning.
Susan
I'm
S.
gonna go ahead and get in there and park,
Said Ghost. Howdy. Jeet C. Molly Davis.
and then I'll get loaded up.
Said Bobby, I'm having family issues that have me very stressed.
Sorry to hear that,
Benjamin Blue.
Molly.
Said Popcorn
Sorry to
Phone.
hear that.
May. Said one of Bobby's favorite words-ish. WYOBT. Said Lori G. Face Blue smiling. Come on down.
Come on down, you're the next contestant on
Said
the
Labs at the
prices.
Isleta Casino flyover.
What?
Susan S. or Biscuit. Said hey Ozzy. One Scuba Dude. Said hey VR. A ghost of the now. Said it Susan, you seem to have a fan base here.
Susan
Good
does have a
afternoon.
fan base here.
Susan S. or Biscuit. Said Scuba. Smiling face with 3 hearts.
Oh Lord, are they all here?
Said hey Scuba. Benjamin Blue.
Are they all here?
Said
Shh.
PR. Said Scuba High. Benjamin Blue. Said right. Baby Blue 80.
God
Said howdy
bless.
Susan.
Freaking fly got in the truck and he ain't been doing nothing but aggravating me. I'm about to pull the fly swat out on him though. He's about to pay the price. He done went and got in the wrong truck, man.
Ozzy Baywatch. Said Watusi Roll, Watusi Brew.
Oh Lord have mercy, Baywatch. I see it rolled right out the
Said hello
window.
Molly. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said LOL Ghost. I'm a big fan of all y'all.
Alright, there you go.
WYOBT. Said Susan Rocks, that's why. Benjamin Blue. Said Slap. Baby Blue 80.
What?
Said Pola and Encino Man on him LOL. Geo 79. Said hello Susan S. Priyanka. Said Susan Hands Yellow Heart Red Misfit. Lisa. Said hi everyone.
Lisa, how you
Rick.
doing today?
Said hey Lisa. Rogers. Said open a window, Meg will irritate him.
Right.
Hugging WYO, you rock in my book. Benjamin Blue.
You
Said
rock.
the fly LOL.
Oh man, did you
Evil
see
and
that?
Builds Mick 2. Said hello.
Hello, Evil.
Susan S. or Biscuit. Said hey Geo. Jeet C. Lisa. Said good booby and you.
Feeling pretty good. If not better.
Susan S. or Biscuit. Said hiya Priyanka. Lisa. Said hi Rick. Lisa. Said hi Scuba. Juan Diego Santos. Said hope I didn't get hit by friendly fire before the last stream ended. Someone got a count and all of a sudden I was unsubscribed to the channel.
Dang.
WYOBT.
How'd that happen?
Said Priyanka Misfit.
Well, I can't
Benjamin
unsubscribe you.
Said Loves.
I can only
Susan
block. I
S.
can't
or Biscuit.
unsubscribe.
Said howdy Lisa. One Scuba Dude. Said hello Lisa smiling face with 3 hearts people hugging.
YouTube does that from time to
Lisa.
time. I don't know what their
Said hi,
reasoning
Biscuit.
is, but they do. You gotta watch them sneaky son of a guns.
Susan S. or Biscuit. Said LOL 1.
You gotta watch them,
Blue
man.
80. Said howdy Priyanka. Blake H. Said 143 checking in for primetime ragtime.
143 thumbs up with 240
Said hi to
people
Juan
watching.
Yates.
Lord have mercy. What's going on here, y'all? Are your thumbs broke today? Dang it, man. It don't matter. I don't mind and it don't matter. You don't want to hit it, don't do it.
Lisa. Said Scuba, do you still have Jesse's phone number? Wampus Cat. Said hello everybody. Thumb number 148.
Wampus cat, how you doing?
Rick. Said hey Cat. One Scuba Dude. Said hello Priyanka. A ghost of the now. Said YouTube plays a lot of reindeer games.
Yeah, they do.
Benjamin Blue. Said Records Bobby. Wampus Cat.
I'll be back in a minute,
Said
y'all.
Halo Rick. Benjamin Blue. Said 153.
I know. 153 thumbs up with over 200 people watching. That's just messed up, man. But it's alright. I'll be back.
It's all good. Aussie Baywatch. Said Thunderdome the Lurkers. Geo79.
Thunderdome.
Said hi Wonka. One Scuba Dude. Said Lisa no I could not find it. Molly Davis. Said how are you doing Susan? Susan S. or Biscuit. Said hiya Robert. Benjamin Bloom. Said Loves is here. Molly Davis. Said hey Scuba how are you? Rick. Said folks while Bobby's out let's hit that like button come on. WIOBT. Said yikes, house struck by lightning here about an hour ago caused a house fire. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said doing good Molly. Thanks. Hope you are too. Benjamin Bloom. Said Thunder Dog. Lisa. Said okay. Soul Dasher Joni. Said BBDDBLLLLLLLLLL. WIOBT. Said it also helps the channel to click share and save the link. One Scuba Dude. Said Molly I'm doing okay small headache. Benjamin Bloom. Said RRRRRRRR. Baby Blue 80. Said sorry found no reason to hit the like yet. LOL just playing. WIOBT. Said LOL. Richard Bishop. Said good evening Bobby Susan SGO79 Scuba Dude Aussie Baywatch Kangaroo Molly Davis Rick Benjamin Bloom and WIOBT. Molly Davis. Said Susan I wish I was doing better but am very stressed and don't want to say it on Bobby's channel. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said LOL Baby Blue. Dakota Smith. Said look how tiny he looks from here LOL. Rick. Said hey Richard. WIOBT. Said I your humor Baby Blue. Molly Davis. Said Scuba I've had a headache all day. WIOBT. Said hiya Richard. Molly Davis. Said hello Richard. The Dizidu. Said definitely liking for New Mexico. Richard Bishop. Said hi Lisa and Baby Blue 80. Geo79. Said hi Richard Bishop. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said sorry to hear that Molly, hopefully viewing this live will help relax you. H. Carl Johnson. Said good evening Richard Bishop. Did you go down and catch any of the race today? Benjamin Bloom. Said Bobby wait over there RRRRRF. Buddy Reed. Said Baby Blue, here's your reason. You need a count. One Scuba Dude. Said hi Richard. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said hiya Richard B. Priyanka. Said perfect headache killer incoming. Share tete at Ferrar BRRRBRR clack 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 STRRR stir STRRR equals. Rogers. Said at Richard Bishop did you venture down to watch NASCAR in your town earlier? Molly Davis. Said Susan if I could tell you I would tell you personally why I'm stressed. Rick. Said smash that like let's go. Aussie Baywatch. Said g'day at Richard Bishop. Nice day here in sunny Queensland. 10.05 am. Coffee break. Deborah Warner. Said hello there everyone how is everyone tonight I've been watching some tornado videos one from 1966 and another one from 1953 it's on now believe it or not. Richard Bishop. Said howdy Carl Johnson Buddy Reed and Roger Z. Benjamin Bloom. Said number 88 1 UK. Lisa. Said Scuba going to try to figure out a way to get in touch with you. I've got to head back to the hospital right bow. Take care. Molly Davis. Said hey Deborah. Deborah Warner. Said hello there Molly I'm sorry that you're going through some stuff I'm praying for you sweetheart. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said Molly. I understand. Baby Blue 80. Said gosh buddy, I was just playing LOL. Deborah Warner. Said oh yeah, hi Richard Bishop, there was a race in Chicago. Buddy Reed. Said hello Richard. H. Carl Johnson. Said Priyanka, I didn't have a headache until whatever that was you posted. LOL. Deborah Warner. Said smiling face with 3 hearts, smiling face with 3 hearts. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said howdy Deborah, smiling face with 3 hearts. Buddy Reed. Said baby blue. JK. Alcides Prieto. Said hello. Molly Davis. Said Deborah, if I could tell you I would, but not on here. Priyanka. Said sorry. Richard Bishop. Said Roger Z, no Roger Z, I didn't, too crowded and too noisy. Baby Blue 80. Said I know you was Buddy LOL, I was the first one here and liked. Diamond Dave. Said GRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRrr. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said hey buddy, smiling face with 3 hearts. Deborah Warner. Said Susan, hi there Susan or Biscuit. Benjamin Bloom. Said RRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRrr. Just Al. Said them truck stop chili dogs can be risky Bobby. One scuba dude. Said Lisa. Buddy Reed. Said hello Susan. Rogers. Said I know it, baby blue 80 was number 1 caused 20 seconds and I was 2 LOL backslash. Baby blue 80. Said Molly, you have prayers here hun. Deborah Warner. Said smiling face with 3 hearts, howdy everyone, there was a noise that's on TV, I thought it was out in the hallway LOL. Molly Davis. Said thank you baby blue. Deborah Warner. Said well I'm praying for you anyway, you take care sweetie, keep your face sweetheart. Priyanka. Said transnational truck ahead. Baby blue 80. Said Benjamin, you okay? LOL. Priyanka. Said pregnant man. The Desidu. Said LOL Sri. Molly Davis. Said Deborah, I'm trying but it's very hard. Baby blue 80. Said Molly, you're so very welcome. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said Meg is nice and loud today. Benjamin Bloom. Said starting my car. Rick. Said good job folks, we brought the likes up, thank you. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said LOL Priyanka. Rogers. Said well she is loud Susan. Richard Bishop. Said Susan S. last night someone in my building set his apartment on fire, had to wait till the fire department gave the all clear before I could go back in. Molly Davis. Said baby blue, I wish I could tell you what is going on but I can't because it makes me cry. WIOBT. Said probing Kane. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said oh no Richard B. Benjamin Bloom. Said shh. Baby blue 80. Said Molly, you don't have to say anything baby girl. But if you need someone to talk to, I'm on Discord. H. Carl Johnson. Said here he comes.
Dang.
Molly Davis. Said hey WIO. Rick. Said Molly made Discord will be a good place for that if you have it. Priyanka. Said probe it out WIO. Benjamin Bloom. Said this Bobby. BR. Said BT. WIOBT. Said Priyanka. The influencer. RK. Said Benjamin Bloom, why you always shushing? HHHHHH. Alcides Prieto. Said Blaine Provecho. Stacky. Said Bobby's has a bag of goodies.
Yeah, I got me a burger
Said
and
Baby Blue 80. Said oh y'all in trouble now. Molly Davis.
y'all doing out here?
Said Baby Blue, I don't have Discord. Priyanka. Said lies. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said LOL at y'all. Priyanka. Said LOL. Mike. Said
Mike got the quietus put on him. Lord have mercy. Let's roll. We got about 2 hours.
Benjamin
2
Bloom
hours of drive time.
said front door.
Shut the front door, man. Lord have mercy.
Richard Bishop said howdy there, Mike. Rick
Come on,
said
MVT.
Bobby, we got the legs up where they belong.
Aw.
H. Carl Johnson said Bobby, my dad used that word all the time. Not sure how to even spell it. Mike
Which word was it?
said all I said was kinda ironic, wasn't it, LOL?
What's up with all these freaking MVTs?
Said I'm sorry, Molly, but just know you have a bunch of prayers for ya. RK said should I want to join in fish orange wide eyes.
Dang it.
Susan
Hang
S.
on now.
or biscuit said face blue smiling Bobby. Wagner Irolico Yusaf. Thanks for following.
Thanks for following.
Benjamin Bloom said shh. Susan S. or biscuit said LOL RK. Buddy Reed said I wish we could shut the front door on some folks.
If wishes was
SCHC
fishes, the world would be
said
an
good evening
ocean.
Bobby and gang. Ozzy Baywatch
SC hater.
said hobos all good, don't forget to take the handbrake off. H. Carl Johnson
Let's roll.
said Quietus.
What? Quietus? What the heck is that?
Susan S. or biscuit said face blue smiling buddy.
Oh, quietus. Quietus, I got you. Dang. Lord have mercy. I do Japanese pretty good, but when I hear Meg say it, it'll throw me completely off track. So I don't do Japanese as well.
Said Smirks. Garfield gets around.
Garfield,
Said
how's it going?
MBT trucks heading back to Las Cruces.
What?
Susan S. or biscuit
Oh yeah, the
said face blue
MVT's headed
smiling,
back to
face blue
Cruces.
smiling. Molly Davis
Or headed out of Cruces.
said I'll be fine, I just have to keep praying. Garfield gets around. Said hey Bobby. Hey Misfits.
How's it going, man?
Susan S. or biscuit said Carl. Hashtag early. Said hey guys.
Early, how you
Richard
doing?
Bishop said Ozzy Baywatch. Any snow on the mountains down there yet, mate? Benjamin Bloom said amen. H. Carl Johnson said now tell me how to spell it so Meg can pronounce it.
I don't
Once
know.
Buddy
I don't know.
said Buddy the door should have been locked in the first place, LOL. RK said want me to go Buddy. Mike said if wishes were fishes I still wouldn't catch a keeper, haha.
Lord have mercy.
Susan S. or biscuit said hey Garfield. Susan S. or biscuit said hiya early.
Y'all be nice to the new people.
Susan S. or biscuit said face blue smiling Mike.
Well, I guess they are headed down to Cruces, ain't they?
Hashtag early said hiya Susan.
Hello.
WYOBT said hiya Mike.
Man, there's some
Mike
lightning over to
said
the
how are you?
east of us. I'm doing
Garfield
pretty good,
gets
man.
around. Said hi Susan. Diamond Dave said yo 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 yo.
Down there.
RK.
How's it going?
Said yeah. Rick said what? Benjamin Bloom said face blue smiling. Baby blue 80 said AW do we have two LOL. Rick said who's new? Mike
Anybody
said
that's new.
IWYO. Susan S. or biscuit said baby blue. Baby blue 80 said you wasn't nice to me when I was new, LOL.
I was
Benjamin
nice to
Bloom
you.
said 190.
190, let's go. I mean, let's
H. Carl Johnson
go.
Said Rick is the one who wants to shut the front door.
Shut
We
the
will just
front
let them in
door,
the back
man.
door.
Yeah, we'll let him in the back door.
Buddy Reed. Said RK, I don't mention names. Folks generally know when it applies. Richard Bishop. Said Bobby, if wishes were fishes, then don't forget to do the dishes. Ha ha ha.
Oh, Lord have mercy, Richard. You're kind of cussing right there.
Said LOL Carl. Molly Davis. Said we should be nice to everyone on here.
That's letting out some foul language, sir. I don't know if that's
Said
approved
Jeezy, all you fine folks.
approved words
And all you
there.
not so fine folk too. Did I actually type that?
GT.
Susan S. or Biscuit. Said newbies make the chat go round.
Yeah, it does. Newbies make the chat exciting.
Said good morning from Albuquerque.
Me.
Number 190. Rick.
Now,
Said I don't see any new peeps.
now me,
RK.
your
Said yes, I'm an outcast.
your appearance got
Susan
clipped.
S. or Biscuit.
Do you mind for me putting it up on a short shelf? Because that was freaking awesome.
Said it like new and stuff.
That was just freaking awesome.
Said me. Me. Said morning WYO. Richard Bishop. Said 10 to 4 Roger that sir.
10 to the 4 to the 22 2.
Said yeah, you were nice to tell me I need a heart defibrillator without telling me I needed a heart on here LOL. Gary Watson.
I'm just trying to.
Said they can plant in the Windows Wattusirol.
Oh,
Benjamin Blue.
I'm just trying to strengthen your heart up.
H. Carl Johnson. Said something after sex. Bobby, did you buy some more disposable bowls?
No, I've still not bought
Said
those
that's
yet.
okay, RK. We all
I need to.
misfits.
I need to.
Susan S. or
Oh,
Biscuit.
Lord have mercy.
Said hey me. Baby.
Dang it.
Said hey me. Gary Watson. Said fine. WYOBT. Said hi Gary Jeetsy. Me.
See, I was going to fix
Said,
me
"Don't
some
mind.
breakfast in the
I
morning.
don't mind. LOL.
That was a good one.
H. Carl
I was
Johnson.
going to put it up while I was at Walmart and I didn't.
Garfield gets around. Said morning me from Farmington. RK. Said thanks Mike.
Jeez.
Buddy Reed. Said I know who flipped me. Rick.
I know who
Said
flipped me
hey
too.
Susan S. or
I may
Biscuit.
pit stop at Walmart
Said howdy Gary. Me. Said morning Benjamin.
and get me some bowls. I don't know.
Said morning Susan. One scuba dude. Said he was good with the face making.
Yeah, he was.
Said morning baby blue. Rick. Said hey Gary. Rogers. Said he got his nails done again. Priyanka.
Dang it, man.
Said 10 to the 4 to the 22 2. Baby from 80. Said all you have just my nails have become weak LOL.
Oh,
Benjamin
man.
Blue. Said Ben broke the window again. B. Said morning Carl. Garfield gets around. Said saw me on the TV earlier today. B. Said morning Garfield. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said Roger, hiya. B. Said morning buddy. Ozzy Baywatch. Said good day me myself and I. Say hi to you. B. Said morning Rick. Rick. Said let's play. B.
Let's play
Said
a
morning
game.
Scuba. Richard Bishop. Said hi there me and Gary Watson. Nay. Said hi me. James Ewing. Said hey Susan. B.
Oh, Rick gifted out a membership. Yes, he got it. Check that out. Thank you. That is awesome.
Said hiya James. Me. Said morning Richard. Richard Bishop. Said howdy James Ewing. May. Said awesome Rick. WYOBT. Said hey Rick. Me. Said morning me with an A in the middle. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said nice Rick. Baby from 80. Said all W man seriously though Aaron God SE here LOL.
Dang it.
James Ewing. Said 2 more months. Benjamin Blue. Said 198. Gary Watson.
198. Let's
Said hi
get
WYOBT and Susan S. or Biscuit and Rick. Rick. Said nice hit. A. Said hi James.
I can't believe y'all hadn't noticed yet.
Said good show Rick. Great game. James Ewing. Said hey Richard Gary.
Boom! You guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen, are freaking awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for over 200 thumbs up right here at Riding on Gang. Really do appreciate it. Snatch some salt from the salted crew, butter up that popcorn. Enjoy the rest of the ride. Now we do love the Misfits around here. How much do we love the Misfits? Freaking bunches. Hey Priyanka, remember what we was talking about earlier? Go see if you can find it. Yeah, that's to hold the air vent. Do it, Priyanka. Membership. Thank you. That is awesome.
Baby 80 said secrets don't make friends, LOL. Benjamin Blue said me again, Bobby. WYOBT said boom.
Oh, there it is.
Said awesome me.
There it is.
Susan S. or Biscuit said awesome me. Dennis McCanich said hi, buddy.
I replaced Nitro with it.
Priyanka said boom. WYOBT said hi, Biscuit Dennis.
Spam it up with the bone. So now, whenever we hit the bone, there you go. Spam it up.
Priyanka said nice, Bobby. Thanks, BT.
Yeah, well.
Dennis McCanich.
Thank you.
Said hi, WYO. Susan S. or Biscuit.
You know, that's actually two now that you've suggested that's went up.
May said hi, Dennis. Mike said true scuba. I never could understand why people go on a diet to lose 20 pounds and 5 inches. Just don't get it. James Ewing said Susan, how do you like fireworks show? Susan S. or Biscuit said cool new boom emoji.
New boom emoji.
WYOBT said sweet Bobby. Boom arama.
Boom arama.
Priyanka said heck yeah, love y'all.
Yeah, that's the second one that Priyanka has suggested that has went up. I think Ragtown wasn't Ragtown the water tower your suggestion?
Said was good one, James.
I believe.
Rick said boom 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 boom. James
Boom, boom, boom.
said boom. Dennis McCanich said Richard May hi. May said hi, Richard Bishop.
Tom, are you in here? Or are you off in the corner somewhere playing that voodoo doll that you got? I had a pain in my stomach. It felt like somebody grabbed it. It felt like somebody with a big hand grabbed my stomach and squeezed it. It was weird. I've never had a feeling like that in my stomach.
Good one. The big wins golf this year, not like last year. Me said morning praying though.
It almost caused me to buckle over. Well, it actually did a little bit, but that was weird. I've never had a pain like that.
Susan S. or Biscuit said, okay, James. Soul Dasher
It was actually more like somebody stuck a needle in it, but...
Priyanka said it's the third between Ragtown, Lurkers Lounge,
Oh, I forgot about Lurkers Lounge.
To be an extension of the Ride Along Gang.
So dang it, Priyanka's got 3 of them in there.
Said number 1 Bobby.
Number 1.
Priyanka said love y'all, hands
and told on
Said,
himself.
sorry, Bobby, I got mad earlier and grabbed my doll and squeezed it. I meant my phone.
Ah, Lord have mercy. Was that
Said,
baby blue that did
The
that?
emoji goddess.
Oh, me gives that another membership.
Said, Bobby, I have a doll
Thank you,
for
thank you.
That
That is awesome. I don't know, whatever it was, it
Susan S. or
felt
Biscuit.
funky.
Said, nice again, me.
It felt funky.
Said, way to go, me. One scuba doo. Said, Bobby, baby, it's the doll needles. Crying
Maybe it's the
gun.
what?
Said, thanks, me, finger red number 1.
I haven't had any noodles in a while. It wasn't like any kind of pain like that. It was like a muscle spasm.
Andy C. Said, usually when I get a pain in my lower tummy, I have to back up to the dock and unload.
It wasn't lower.
80. Said, way to go, me. Richard Bishop. Said, Bobby, sometimes beverages or fruit with a high citric acid content can cause that. James Ewing. Said, yeah, a lot better than here town, Susan. Benjamin Blue. Said, good night. Light.
Good night.
Said, LOL, Andy.
Man, oh man, I tell you what.
One scuba doo. Said, the funky monkey. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said, Andy. Garfield gets around. Said, did someone say Lurker's Lounge? I'm the king.
Lurking
Way too many
Lounge.
months watching before finally jumping in chat here.
For real.
Me. Said, I went back and watched me from earlier. You would have moved the Trump.
I'll probably put it up
Priyanka.
after
Said,
this
Garfield,
stream.
glad you're here.
I was going to put it up in between streams, but I thought, well, I'll do it after. Bernardo.
Susan S. or Biscuit. Said, glad you took the jump, Garfield.
Heck yeah. Leap of faith.
Baby Blue 80. Said, darn too bad he was on vacation, LOL. Me. Said, absolutely fine, Bobby. Benjamin Blue. Said, later.
Later, man. Take it easy.
Tana Jalal. Thanks for following.
Thanks for following, Tan Ninja. LOL.
Me. Said, Baby Blue. You was in middle of 14-day timeout on YouTube. Garfield gets around. Said, Susan, I finally held my breath and jumped off the cliff. LOL. Aussie Baywatch. Said, did you see Kenny near miss? Short.
I did,
He's a
man.
good driver.
I did. That was
Bobby Clover
something
won.
else.
Said, do you ever partake with the pavement princesses just to break up the boredom?
All right, Bobby. You know the drill.
Baby Blue 80. Said, oh darn whitey, not fair doing that to you. Nay. Said, Nino, what did you do? One scuba doo. Said, Garfield, welcome to the jungle, we have fun and games. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said, nice form, Garfield.
Oh, look at that. Give that
Richard
membership.
Said, Bobby, one of the worst foods for
Thank you,
ice and
thank you,
acid
thank you.
content is watermelon.
That is awesome. Did I miss the weirdo, or did I get him?
B. Said, you gets to go on all the vacations. It's about time he gets to play. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said, nice Rick. May. Said, awesome Rick. B. Said, good show, Rick. first time in here, it can make your heart flutter. Geo79 said GM. Me.
What are you saying? I made your heart skip a beat. I'll be dead.
Elizabeth M. said hi Bobby and Misfit gang.
Elizabeth, hey.
Andy C. said got him right smack dab betwixt the eyes. Susan S. or Biscuit said LOL baby blue. Me. Said morning Elizabeth. Susan S. or Biscuit said face blue smiling Bobby. WYOBT said Elizabeth Misfit. Garfield gets around said Scuba, you have no idea how long I have been laughing with you guys. Just never been brave enough to jump in the fray. Misfits are awesome. Susan S. or Biscuit said hey Elizabeth. Elizabeth M. said doing good, thanks. Baby Blue 80 said more like jumped out of my chest LOL. Wagner Irolico Yusab said good afternoon, I'm watching you from the south of Brazil.
South Brazil, how you doing back there? I think I might have said that right, if she said it right. I don't know. Welcome to the Rattle Gang, I think.
Soul Dasher Joni said you're done. Me said baby blue, you might want to go to her if the cest happens. Richard Bishop said Susan S. we had a rain come through and broke the heat wave in the 70s outside now. Dwayne Guthrie said Garfield these people are the very best.
Over.
Susan S. or Biscuit said hi Wagner.
Wagner.
Me said morning Dwayne. Garfield gets around said Dwayne, I totally agree. Elizabeth M. said me, it was good to see you earlier. Susan S. or Biscuit said nice Richard. Dwayne Guthrie said hey me. Baby Blue 80 said apparently I love it, I keep coming back for more LOL. One Scuba
Keep
Dude
coming back for more.
said hello Elizabeth smiling face with 3 hearts people hugging. Wagner Irolico Yusab said hi, Susan. Me said thank you Elizabeth. Was just good timing today. Richard Bishop said hello Dwayne Guthrie. Rick said if Garfield gets around we are friendly unless you're a troll then we want a part of you so enjoy and have fun. You'll learn to deal with Bobby some days he's a handful. Dwayne
Some
Guthrie
days.
said hey Richard Bishop.
Depends on how good I'm feeling, I guess.
Susan S. or Biscuit said hi Dwayne. Richard Bishop said hi there Elizabeth M. Dwayne Guthrie said hey hi Susan. Susan S. or Biscuit said face blue smiling Rick. James Ewing said crack on windshield went towards to passenger side.
I told you to put some super glue on that, man.
Said if you're talking about the screen, my heart is okay, but I did have to move the coffee table out of kicking reach face blue smiling. RK said back to my dark corner. Bye Misfits, you're all such fun, a great crew.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Oh, wait a minute. I got some bowls in here.
Elizabeth M. said hand pink waving, all Misfit.
They're not
Susan S.
stowaways, but
said Mike.
dang it. We gifted out 5 memberships. Load up.
WYOBT, said Lori Face Blue smiling. Dwayne Guthrie,
Temporarily closed.
said good one me.
Looks open to me. It's a bit windy out here, y'all.
RK, said thanks Susan S. Susan S. or Biscuit, said nice me. Rick, said if Bobby hasn't eaten anything that's when you gotta behave. He gets a bit grumpy lol. Me,
Get a bit
said
hangry.
Baby Blue, I'll get you one of these days. Andy C, said redneck bowls equals butter tubs and cottage cheese tubs.
Right.
Said nice me.
Got plenty of those at the house.
Baby Blue 80, said YT doesn't like me lol. Me, said it was warm in Alamogordo this weekend.
It's 91 here, according to the truck.
Richard Bishop, said Bobby you are a legend in your own time caption.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Me, said I like you and stuff Baby Blue. Baby Blue 80, said AW thanks me. Rick, said me it was very hot today here 101 and humid. Mike, said the whip topping tubs work pretty good too.
Yeah, those are good. Those are whip topping.
Molly Davis, said Baby Blue thank you for your kind words.
Crock spread or whatever.
Garfield gets around, said at me we reached 96 degrees in the backyard today. Phew. Elizabeth M, said hot face Rick. Baby Blue 80, said AW Molly not a problem at all dear. Me, said I miss humidity Rick. Too dry here. Going to Dallas again soon. Rick, said it's still 96 at 8:40 p.m.
Dang it, man.
Susan S. or Biscuit, said Yanks Rick hot face.
I don't mind not having humidity. I mean, humidity's not terrible, but I don't mind not having it.
Molly Davis, said I'm feeling better watching you Bobby is helping a little.
I know. Kick back, relax, take your mind off the stressful stuff.
Rick, said when an 8-year-old says it's too hot to play in the water you know it's hot.
Yeah. You know it's hot then, for real.
Richard Bishop, said this time yesterday it was 94 degrees, now it's 74 today, a welcome relief Bobby.
Oh, I bet.
Garfield
I
gets
bet.
around, said no humidity for me. I've had enough. 21 summers in DFW. That's enough.
21 summers.
Baywatch.
Dang it, man.
Said turkeys in boxing gloves. What color are you?
I don't know. Maybe red. That's actually turkey vultures.
Said just commenced to raining here. Andy
Is what
C.
it's supposed to be, turkey
Said a monk
vultures.
looked into a tub of margarine and seen the face of Jesus and said, I can't believe it ain't butter. Vicky Durham.
What?
Said, hi Bobby.
Vicky, how you doing?
Said Garfield, I lived in Plano, Dallas, Fort Worth. I miss it. LB. Said, same here Richard. Rick. Said, Richard, how close to the race were you? Me. Said, LOL Andy. Mike. Said, nephew got my hay bale just in time. Richard Bishop. Said, well, hello there LB. Prism Blue. Said, it's Susan S. or Biscuit. Hi. Jeetsy Hunt. Hope all is well with you. Vicky Durham. Said, I'm good. Richard Bishop. Said, aka Buzzards. Prism Blue. Said, hi Bobby.
Prism, how you
WYOBT.
doing?
Said, Jeetsy again Vicky. Buddy Reed. Said, I thought the birds were a mix of a couple of different birds. Dwayne Guthrie. Said, hey Vicky.
Dwayne, how
Vicky
you doing?
Durham. Said, hi WYO. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said, howdy Prism. Jeetsy 2. Ozzy Baywatch. Said, the red was right-handed. Blue is left.
Ah,
Buddy Reed. Said, hello Vicky. Vicky Durham. Said, hi Dwayne. Me. Said, boy. Vicky Durham. Said, hi buddy. One scuba dude. Said, Garfield, you should have stayed there for the winters. Also LOL. Buddy Reed.
I'm mostly right-handed, but I do stuff left-handed
Richard
too.
Bishop. Said, Rick about 5
I was
miles
actually
north
born
of it.
left-handed, but
Ozzy Baywatch. Said, me looking for AI. RLT 78. Said, hi Bobby and peoples of chat.
RLT, how you
Vicky
doing?
Durham. Said, hi Scuba.
Dude, that bird was about cooked right there. I was actually born left-handed, but I had those teachers that didn't believe in
Susan S. or
left-handed
Biscuit.
students, so they
Said,
done what
hey,
they could
RLT.
to convince all
Richard
of us
Bishop.
that we was all
Said, hi
right-handed.
Vicky Durham Raccoon. Vicky Durham. Said, hi Baywatch.
Actually,
Garfield gets around. Said, me I lived in Arlington, Frisco, and Grapevine. I miss all the stuff going on, but not the humidity. Loved being there. RLT 78. Said Susan. One scuba dude. Said hello Vicky Party Face. Baby Blue 80. Said call Bobby, I'm ambidextrous too. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said hiya Vicky. Mike. Said hey RLT. Baby Blue 80. Said cool not call Jeesh. Vicky Durham. T78. Said hi Mike. One scuba dude. Said HRLT. Rick. Said I write in E. Right hand. Richard Bishop. Said hello RLT 78. Vicky Durham. Said hi baby blue.
Yeah, I
Geo
just.
79.
Oh, what do we got
Said,
going
hi,
on
Vicky
here?
Durham. Rick. Said Richard that's cool.
What's going on?
Rick. Said RLTK.
Oh,
RLT 78. Said hey scuba and you too Richard.
might
Vicky
not
Durham.
be good.
Said hi Richard.
Of them.
Me. Said morning Vicky. Me. Said morning RLT. Vicky Durham. Said hi me. RLT 78. Said hi my northern neighbor. Ozzy Baywatch. Said I'm right-handed dog but learn left hand.
Yeah.
BR. Said same here Rick disguised face. Me. Said busted. Andy C.
Busted.
Said we had a nun that said that all left-handers was of the devil. That was until she found out the priest was left-handed. Baby Blue 80.
Dang it.
Said hi Vicky. Andy C. Said LOL. RLT 78. Said hello me. Soul Dasher Joni. Said busted. Deborah Warner. Said hi everyone and back I was on the phone with somebody.
Welcome back, Deborah.
Susan S. or Biscuit. Said Andy. Vicky Durham. Said hi Deborah. Deborah Warner. Said somebody's busted oh boy LOL.
I reckon.
Richard
They're about to be
Bishop.
busted.
Said well everyone getting ready to close Starbucks. See you all back at the ranch.
All right,
Me.
Richard, be safe.
Said scream. We need emoji. Vicky Durham. Said hi Soul Dasher. Ozzy Baywatch. Said g'day Rom.Vicky. Deborah.Joni. Sunflower. Smiling face with 3 hearts. Mike. Said later Richard. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said see you soon Richard. Deborah Warner. Said hello there Bobby okay wait for it wait for it wait for it scream lol.
I couldn't wait for it.
Landon Auguster. Said good evening everyone.
Landon, how you
Deborah
doing?
Warner. Said hey. Dwayne Guthrie. Said take care Richard Bishop. RLT78. Said very high. One scuba dude. Said me now I see the movie Scream. Vicky Durham. Said bye Richard. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said face orange raised eyebrow. Deborah Warner. Said take care Richard. Baby Blue 80. Said Mother Hunker. Me. Said LOL Scuba. Buddy Reed. Said she's alive. Deborah Warner. Said hi Ozzy Baywatch if your name doesn't come out right I'm doing the audio on. Baby Blue 80. Said grabs chest.
Dang it. Just don't stand under Deborah.
Deborah Warner. Said good thing I didn't have my coffee, but I did have my lemonade LOL and it didn't fall in my eye, didn't splash me in the face, I had to peel myself off the ceiling too. Rick. Said not happening mister.
What the heck?
Susan S. or Biscuit. Said face blue smiling baby blue.
That didn't look
Deborah
good.
Warner. Said smiling face with 3 hearts, smiling face with 3 hearts, smiling face with 3 hearts. Mike. Said I'm just smiling and glad I moved the coffee table lol. One scuba dude. Said the scream face from the movie would be a good one.
That's what I was thinking. The scream face. The scream mask.
Deborah Warner. Said Susan smiling face with 3 hearts, smiling face with 3 hearts. Andy C. Said looked like the headache rack broke.
In my head. I don't know.
Said yes scuba.
Either that or he just didn't get it strapped, didn't have it strapped down good.
Deborah Warner. Said do the bounce and the bowing.
I need more rain than this.
Deborah Warner. Said uh-oh. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said stretches out a net to catch Deborah when she lands. Baby Blue 80. Said yay make that emoji so I know to turn my phone down when I see it lol. Rick. Said clipped but not sure how to title it lol. Deborah Warner. Said yeah there you go I'm glad I don't have to worry about a coffee table I used to have one. Phyllis. Said eaten at Sonic much. Andy C.
I don't need it, Sonic.
Said I wonder if you planted a 1,000 pounds of
not
okra
much.
seeds here if it would grow.
Very, very rare to eat it,
Said
Sonic.
need a sneaky scream emoji.
Sneaky scream emoji. It wouldn't be sneaky though, it would get broadcasted. That's the only thing about getting the scream emoji.
Garfield gets around. Said Bobby we call 10 drops on the sidewalk for the cars up here fake rain. Not enough to do a dang thing.
Right.
LOL. Susan S.
That's
or
about what it
Biscuit.
is, not enough to do
Said Mike,
nothing.
yes.
To streak up the windshield. That's why I didn't turn the wipers on. It would have streaked it good. I've noticed the
Said
vertical
face,
people
tongue out,
is
face,
starting to
green,
hit the
smiling
like
face,
button a
blue,
lot more
smiling
now than
face, blue, smiling face,
they was
tongue out.
this time last year.
Said never streamed, but I did go skinny dipping back when I was skinny.
$3,000's my record. I don't know, that's not gonna be easy
Said
to
I'm
beat.
ready to relax after doing errands today. Garfield gets around. Said me I do too. LOL.
3,000 and something.
Susan S.
is my
or
record.
Biscuit. Said hiya Tabs. Me. Said LOL Andy. Deborah Warner. Said I did the thumbs up LOL.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
One scuba noob. Said Ray Stevens song the street. Baby Blue 80. Said Ozzy the record is 354, I think it is.
354, heck yeah. Things are getting on up there then.
Andy C. Said now that I'm short and chunky, I go Chunky Duncan.
Chunky Duncan.
Said Garfield. Whenever I drive to the Metroplex, there is only a them out there. All the way out in Mesquite. Rick. Said Bobby 3,000 in one street.
Yeah.
Deborah Warner.
It was 3,000 or 3,500, something like that.
Susan S. or Biscuit. Said Scuba. Mike. Said streakers in their sneakers. Ozzy Baywatch. Said he was streaming in the day. Okay.
Yeah, during the daytime.
Getting a few subs too.
Yeah, he is
Joe
climbing.
Said great picture and sound. Baby
Right on,
80.
right on.
Said Ye just broke 4.3k in subs. Lori G.
4.3.
Said
He'll-
hey Susan.
He'll catch up to me by the
Smiling
end of
face
summer,
with 3
probably.
hearts people hugging. Buddy
He
Reed.
might pass me on up
Said
by the end of
Scuba
summer.
Noob. I was thinking a 3-letter name, but could not come up with it. Mike. Said LOL Andy. Dwayne Guthrie. Said hi Lori. Alex Silva. Said greetings from South America. Be careful with the deer on the road if there are any.
Tip on
Mommy
that,
Davis.
Alex. Thank you, thank you, thank
Said,
you.
hey,
Always,
Lori.
I try to keep my
Joe
eyes open
Small.
for the deer.
Said lovely Lori. Rick. Said holy cow were you giving out money wow. Garfield gets
No,
around.
the 3,500
Said, wow.
come from
I didn't know that. Maybe they're trying to get in over there in DFW.
it come from one of the radar
Lori
streams.
G.
I got 3,000
Said, hi,
subscribers on that same
Deborah
stream.
Warner. Said quack quack
I got the same amount of subscribers as I did likes
Joe Smo. Said hello Mom.
from that one stream.
Mike. Said hi Lori G.
But now my record for
Said,
horizontal like this right here is like
One scuba dude.
2,500.
Said hello Lori smiling face.
1,500 or 2,500, I'm not sure.
Molly Davis. Said hello Joe. Rick. Said hey Lori. Joe Smo. Said Susan S. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said what's up Lori. Smiling face with 3 hearts. Smiling face with 3 hearts. Me. Said been like that for a few years now Garfield. Lori G. Said hi Molly. Deborah Warner. Said hello there Molly. I'm back. I had a friend that just called me. She was having a hard time, so we were just sitting there talking for a while. ER. Said Lori Jeansy. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said hiya Joe Smo. Ozzy Baywatch. Said he'll be a million.
up, Eddie?
Said we can't believe all the traffic in DFW now. One scuba dude. Said we are one of a kind, but I don't know. WYOBT. Said yay Lori G hard hands. Joe Small. Said Heather. Heather. Said Mr. Bobby, do you ever sleep?
Never.
Joe Small.
Well, I
Said
do a lot actually.
WYOBT. Lori G.
I do some anyway.
Said hey BT.
I wake up late.
RL
how you done that.
Hank said kayaks are too little, I'd soon be in a boat, haha. Susan S.
Yeah.
or Biscuit said LOL Garfield.
No doubt. I got a little palm powder. It's pretty neat. It's pretty cool.
Tyler Lena said hi.
Tyler, how you doing? I haven't
Rick
had it out in a long time
said it's
though.
gonna be hot tomorrow to Buddy Reed
Hot tomorrow.
said Garfield, we got that last time. Just do what you feel you can. Hello. Me said WYO just used to her yacht.
Right. It's not a boat. It's a yacht.
Rick said I have 3 kayaks, I love them. Lori G
Got
said
two.
hi again, Garfield
One's
and Tyler.
Tyson's, one's mine.
Garfield gets around. Said hey buddy. Gotcha.
Hadn't been in
Like.
the kayaks either
Said I
in
can't
a
get the
while.
highs all in either, so I just sit here and W's at my phone, LOL. Tyler Lena said doing good, how's your day been?
It's been pretty
James
good.
Ewing
Been pretty good today.
said going be hot week. D. Michael Afizek said I've seen land yacht semi RVS. Patty P
Lance
said hi from PA, hope your weekend is going good.
Andy P, you doing pretty
Garfield
good
gets
here. How you
around.
doing?
Said hey Lori. Susan S. or Biscuit said hi Tyler. Tyler Lena said hey Lori.
Lord have mercy, man.
One scuba dude said he has a popcorn paddleboard. Deborah Warner
Popcorn paddleboard.
said hi Garfield gets around. Alice Usher said hi Patty P.
That car's from Tennessee, man.
WYOBT said
Alice, how
I need
you
to
doing?
find another little fishing pontoon boat. I absolutely love mine. Rick said they are hard to fish out of, but they glide through the water easy. James Ewing
I like that one that
said
I
hey
got.
again Lori LOL.
I'm just
Lori
afraid
G
to kind of trust it much because
said hey
it
James.
does have a hole in the bottom of
Deborah
it. A big hole.
Said smiling face with 3 hearts.
It'll float,
smiling
but
face with 3
I don't know how
hearts.
long it'll float for.
Said had scuba. Fish ate all the popcorn. Garfield gets around. Said hi Deborah. Tyler Lena said hi Susan. Rick said you catch a big fish and you're going over LOL. Susan S. or Biscuit said hi to Patty P. Deborah Warner said hi Lori G. Hi there James. LLK 517 said good evening Bobby and the gang missed everyone this weekend.
Hello, okay. How you
Working
doing?
overtime all weekend.
Working overtime all
Patty P
weekend. Dang it, man.
said hey Alice Waza.
What's
WYOBT
up?
said 258 keep them coming.
258.
Patty
Let's
P
go.
said hi Susan.
Dang
Tyler
it.
Lena
Can we hit 300
said
before
how
we
many
get
miles
to 2
to your
hours in?
destination? Lori G said hi Deborah.
Just about
Alex
69-ish.
Said what year is your car? WYOBT
It's not a car. It's a
said you can
semi
catch it
truck.
Bobby.
It's a
Me
2025, I
said
think.
morning LLK.
2024 or 25.
WYOBT said LLK Jeetsy.
I got it in
Nola
2024, but
Said just watched a video about pioneers that took the California Trail back in 1850. They had it so bad.
oh yeah,
We
that
are
was
fortunate to
rough.
live in these times. Can't imagine traveling through this land in wagons.
I know, right?
Lori
That
G
would be something.
Said hi Alice. Susan S. or Biscuit said hey LLK.
Seems like it
Alice
would take a
Usher
lifetime to do
said
it
nothing
too,
Patty P.
from the East Coast to the
LLK
West Coast.
517 said hello me hello WYO hello Lori G hello Susan hello Scuba. Lori G said hi Patty. WYOBT said Nola Jeetsy. Susan S. or Biscuit said hi Alice. Lori G said hi LOK 517 Jeetsy. Alice Usher said hi Lori G. Deborah Warner said hand pink waving hand I see ya. One scuba dude.
I see
Said
you.
hello,
You see
LOK.
me?
Lori G. Said Patty.
Four or 5 months just from Missouri.
Said hi, Patty. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said LOL. Geo79. Said hey, Lori G. Tyler
Gio, how you
Lenham.
doing?
Said what time will you stream tomorrow?
After I get loaded, Tyler. I don't know what time I'll get loaded up. I'm sure it'll be somewhat kind of early, but
Lori G. Said Bobby, I see you. Patty P.
it depends on if
Said,
you're on
"Hi,
Eastern
Rick, how
time
are
or
ya?"
Pacific time or Central time. I'm on Mountain time right now, so it'll definitely be after 8 a.m.
Lori G.
Definitely.
Said hey, Geo.
Probably definitely be after 9, but it'll most definitely
Rick.
be after 8.
Said Patty and good thank you and you.
On account of they don't open up till 8, I think. Then they hadn't assigned a load to me yet. Them guys don't get in till 8. So it'll definitely be
Rick.
after 8.
Said her Bobby time LMFAO.
It could be.
Me.
It could be.
Said I'm on morning time.
I'd say somewhere between 9 and
Lori G.
noon-ish.
Said Rick. Patty P. Said Rick doing okay, thanks. SC Netsky. Said we are always on Bobby time here.
Heck yeah.
Tyler Lenham. Said I'm on Central time.
Central
Molly
time.
Davis. Said Lori, how are you? Susan S. or Biscuit. Said LOL, Lori, you do. You must have a special view. Mike. Said I'm on borrowed time. LLK 517. Said me. You sound like Carmen Sandiego. Never know where in the world you are at and traveling. LOL. Hunkamonkey. Thanks for following.
Hunky
Lori
Monkey,
G.
thanks for following.
Said face blue smiling Susan. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said face blue smiling LOK. Alice Usher. Said hi, Molly. Lori G. Said Molly, I'm doing okay. Garfield gets around. Said Mike LOL. Too funny. Patty P. Said got a week of rain coming, maybe a break in heat.
A week of
Me.
rain, dang.
Said the Oompa Loompas at the popcorn factory need to get to work. Rick. Said I'm on vacation time, anything goes.
Anything. Anything. Anything.
Me. Said yes. Where in the world is me LLK? T-Rex. Said roar number 265 Scuba asked for help with this crowd, so here I am.
T-Rex, how's it going, man?
Said hi, Alice. Lori G. Said yay, Rick. Buddy Reed. Said Mike, what's the interest rate? Susan S.
Lord
or
have mercy,
Biscuit.
man.
Said hey, T-Rex. Smiling face with 3 hearts.
Lord have mercy. Interest rate on borrowed time, that could be kind of expensive.
Mike. Said LOL, buddy. Probably 100% in the end up. Alice
Probably.
Usher. Said hi, my friend Rick. Lori G. Said hey, T-Rex. Garfield gets around. Said buddy LOL. Interest. Good one. Rick. Said if Bobby was close enough, he'd throw muffins at his truck to get him off early. John Peters. Said Lori, hey Lori. Jeetsy Hun. A long time no see. Hope all is well with you. T-Rex. Said hello Lori, WYO and WYOBT smiling face with 3 hearts. Rick. Said hi my friend Alice, how is you? Lori G. Said howdy there Prism. Jeetsy.
Some of them do. Not all of them. Some of them do. You got to stop and think, though, Alex. These trucks have governors on them. Most cars don't. The speed limit's 75, so
Said okay, Rick, thank you.
that's what they do.
SC Knightsky said throw a breakfast baconator will be better at getting Bobby up early. Rick
Right.
said me please too. Lori G said Prism, you are moving this week, correct? CW Sharp said Nola, just think pioneers thought they had it so good because they had covered wagons and horses to pull them and did not have to walk and carry teepees when they moved around.
Right. Could you imagine somebody from that day hopping into a vehicle and running down the road at 70 miles per hour?
T-Rex
They'd probably be
said
terrified,
hello,
man.
Susan, smiling face with 3 hearts, people hugging. John Peters said Lori already moved in. Lori S just plucked or picked, whichever sounds tastier. Susan S or biscuit said T-Rex. Rick said heck no, I'm eating the baconator, LOL.
Right.
Lori G said John, that's awesome. I'm so happy for you in your new studio. Garfield gets around. Said me, you been to the popcorn factory in Albuquerque called Carnivore? Patty P said Conestoga wagons came after roads were made because they were heavier to carry goods. John Peters said tanks. Andy C said but however they had to use bear grease on the axles to keep them turning freely.
Bear grease.
Rick said if Bobby spent the day around me he would gain 20 pounds, LOL. Patty P said trails, not roads. Me said never heard of it, Garfield. I have a popcorn stash at a super secret location. Duca Damon said sup gang.
What's up, dude?
Lori G
How you doing?
said Rick. CW Sharp said they sure would not be complaining about now air conditioning like someone named people I know, LOL.
Right.
Susan S or biscuit said hiya dude. Rick said Lori, I have his meals planned out, LOL. Lori G said John, you are welcome. Lori G said Rick. WYOBT said hiya dude. Duca Damon said I'll be taking my CDL driver test at school on Wednesday to finally receive my CDL, and hello Susan.
Heck yeah.
Patty P
Good luck.
said
Congratulations.
CW Shark, imagine the soldiers in wool uniforms on the 4th of July. Susan S or biscuit said good luck dude. Lori G said hi CW Shark. CW Shark said hey all. Garfield gets around.
Clearwater, how you doing?
Said be real place on and all. Always try to get there and bring some back with me whenever I'm in Albuquerque. Eddie H said how you doing Bobby and everyone.
Doing pretty good, Eddie. How you doing?
P.
Dang it, man.
Said, oh goody soul dasher, it's nice to share. Rick. Said, baconator for breakfast, bacon king for lunch, and a tea. Bone steak dinner, he would sleep the next day off, lol.
Dang it, yeah,
Prism
I would.
Blue. Said, at Lori G, I sent a picture of the progress. Dennis McCannich. Said, looks like a nice night, Bobby.
Yeah, it is.
Lori G.
Nice, nice.
Said, Joni, if I lived closer, I would come visit. I know the time gets long. Duca Damon. Said, thanks Susan and hello WYOBTS, thanks Bobby and gang. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said, face blue smiling me. Soul Dasher Joni. Said, all ration snacks so it won't raise my sugar. Garfield gets around. Said, Joni, I'm coming over. What are we eating? Lori G. Said, Prismo awesome. Thank you. I will check it out. Eddie H. Said, hi Susan S. SC Knightsky. Said, you need to bacon wrap that T-bone. CW
Make
too sharp.
that T-bone up.
Said, Bobby, I saw a storm chaser said he was waiting for his Starlink shield. Do you know what he was talking about? Soul Dasher Jones.
It's probably something
said,
to keep
everyone keeps
from.
asking if
It's
they can get me something. I keep
like a
telling them
plastic,
discharge.
a see-through plastic
T-Rex.
cover to keep the
Said, Shark, I know some of your
hail
relatives
from hitting it and
megalodons.
damaging it, or
Lori G.
you know, like tree limbs
Said,
and
face
stuff.
blue smiling Joni.
I mean, I hadn't seen one.
Rick.
I hadn't never seen
Said,
one, but
bacon wrap a T-bone steak interesting.
probably a clear plastic,
Soul Dasher
clear
Joni.
see-through plastic,
Said, string cheese pistachios pork rinds.
thick plastic,
Susan S. or Biscuit. Said, face blue smiling T-Rex.
like plexiglass or something.
Alice Usher. Said, hi Joni. Lori G. Said, T-Rex.
Hopefully he got the right dish, man, because if he got the dish like mine, it's not going to do him no good in them storms. You got to have that high performance dish.
Lori G. Said, I love string cheese. Young. Blake Cage. Said, I drove straight home to Texas from vacation in South Dakota. Watched Bragg the whole way.
Right on.
Andy C.
Right on.
Said, sliced so belly wrapped ribeye steak. Prism Blue. Said, nice view. Soul Dasher Joni. Said, I've been craving string cheese.
Haber loves string cheese.
Me. Said, gonna get some chores done and stuff. You'll probably be finished before I'm done. Y'all have a great morning and stuff.
Me appreciate
nice.
stopping in, hanging out.
Alice
I'll catch you
Usher.
next time around.
Said, hi Prison Blue. Mike. Said, morning me. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said, see you later me. CW Shark. Said, Bobby, did you check the truck for hail damage? H. Carl Johnson.
No, I didn't.
Said, good morning me.
It wasn't.
Prism
The
Blue.
hail wasn't really that
Said,
awful
an
bad
Alice
though.
Usher, hey Alice Jeetsy Hunt. Olivia P. Said, hi.
Hello, Olivia.
Garfield gets around. Said, morning me. Have a good one. Olivia P. Said, KK. Lori G. Said, take care me, it was nice seeing you today. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said, hi Olivia. T-Rex. Said, is was used to string Haber along. Prism Blue.
Right.
Said, minus, I miss things in chat.
If you got your volume up, I don't see how.
Olivia P. Said, no bandwidth. Rick. Said, we thanks for playing, enjoy your morning, night. Olivia P. Said, just unbanned.
You wasn't ever banned, Olivia.
CW Shark. Said, I was just worried about your windows.
Yeah, no,
Wait,
everything's good.
Said, Bobby, drive careful, good night. Everybody tomorrow morning comes early, take care of people.
Alright, Dwayne,
And
appreciate
see.
stopping in, hanging out. We'll
Said,
catch you
Dale
next time
always
around.
sounds worse than it is until it gets worse.
Until it hits you in the head.
SC Knightsky. Said, we were supposed to get a tropical storm here in SC today, but it moved up and
bad, but it didn't last long. It only lasted about 20 minutes-ish, something like that. Give or take. The severe part was about 20 minutes, but the big dust storm that come through, it come through before that, and then it rained for a bit after, but
said looks dry and dusty.
it was just
and
about
hot.
20 minutes.
Mike said that was pretty back yonder.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it is. Sure is.
Olivia P. said hi.
Hello, Olivia. Oh, you did get a timeout once, didn't you? I remember now.
Garfield gets around. Said Nola it was really bad.
I think, matter of
The
fact, I
Evil
think it was
Dead
last time
still
he was
have
here.
some missing. Lori G. said hi Olivia. T-Rex said hello Scuba Doo. One Scuba Doo said hello T-Rex.
Dang it, man.
Olivia P. said play that song.
All right, Olivia. Whatever you want to hear. Turn it up. Here, wait a minute. How was that?
Rick said gee, can't amazing why. Susan S. or Biscuit said LOL Scuba.
How was that song? That's the only song I got.
Olivia P. said happy birthday song.
I don't have that song.
Susan S. or Biscuit said face blue smiling Bobby. Ida Holofestyle Luther said Karen L. Good evening from Boise, Idaho. Have you ever been in an area where the runaway ramps are used? Andrew L.
Oh yeah, I've been there where
said
they've
those
been
New
used. I've
Mexico
never used them,
troopers
but
only stopped me once. Lori G. said T-Rex and Scuba.
yeah, I've been
Deborah
in the
Warner
areas where they've been
said I'm
used.
awake, LOL. Lori G. said that's my favorite song, Bobby. Olivia P. said
What, happy
sound
birthday?
effects. Deborah Warner said smiling face with 3 hearts, smiling face with 3 hearts. Rick said have you ever heard the song It Starts Like This? You're done.
You're done. I got
Lori
caught
G.
up.
said Rick. T-Rex said I like the Scuba Angels. One Scuba Doo said thank you T-Rex. Olivia P. said was.
Huh? What'd you say?
Susan S. or Biscuit said face blue smiling Rick. Love that one. D. Michael of Izak said shadows getting long. Golden hour approaches.
Yeah, it is.
Rick
It's getting close.
said LOL Bobby. CW Shark said Bobby you were just lucky the rain came after the dust storm. It is when the rain is over the dust storm is when you can get a mud rain.
Yeah.
I have seen it range from ½ inch to 3 inches of mud.
I've heard this.
Mike
I've heard those are
said I
bad.
saw a ramp with a truck in it. Wondered if he had a brown seat.
Probably.
Patty P.
Probably.
said I heard the song gimme that gimme that gimme 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 that thing give me that thing I haven't heard that in years. Deborah Warner said uh-oh.
What song
Lori
is that?
G. said hi Mike. Mike said hi Lori. H. Carl Johnson said I think the song You're Done is the only one that can be played up here that is not subject to copyright laws. Rick said Zach just looked at the laptop like a dog head sideways and all LMFAO. Garfield gets around. Said it Andrew L. Believe it or not, long ago I got stopped in New Mexico by a plane. On I-25 southbound just north of Truth or Consequences. Susan S. or Biscuit
We're just north of Truth
said
or
face
Consequences
blue smiling
now.
Carl. Olivia P. Said, hi there, how are you today? I'm good, how are you today? Talk to me, okay?
I've been
Andrew
talking
L.
to you, Liv.
Said that New Mexico trooper said I was
Olivia.
not keeping in my lane, LOL. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said face blue smiling Rick and Zach.
Dang man.
Olivia P. Said banned for one day.
Yeah, I remember. You was one of the fortunate ones that just got banned for one day. I usually don't do that. Usually it's permanent.
Andrew L. Said he let me go, LOL. Rick. Said when I took the pics of the Cybertruck today, Zach says Bobby right, LOL, I said yeah. Olivia P. Said banned for 12 hours.
Something like
One
that.
scuba dude. Said Bobby bet that was a first for the channel, LOL.
Right.
Susan S. or Biscuit. Said short day, LOL.
Show day. Are you talking about my hunt? Are you making fun of me?
Mike. Said LOL Biscuit. Lori G. Said Garfield, I was stopped by a plane in Kansas, my foot got heavy. Olivia P. Said lola la 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 la. CW Shark. Said Bobby mud is the only thing worse than ice or black ice. Mud is like driving on ice, but ice stands still, but mud is sliding while you're sliding on top of it, hard to describe.
Hey, it would.
Rick.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine.
Said you got my family brainwashed, dang it man.
I couldn't imagine getting caught up in a mud drain.
Garfield gets around. Said Bobby, the New Mexico State Police used to pull over people with a roadblock and a plane timing vehicles on a quarter-mile stretch. In places you can still see signs indicating speed monitored by air.
Right.
H. Carl Johnson.
I don't think
Said
they
Bobby,
do that
at
much
least they
anymore.
don't
I
call the
don't know.
short shell the Bobby shell. Prism Blue.
Right.
Said at Lori and Susan S. or Biscuit, I gotta go. Can you two do flip for me?
No, they
Mike.
can't do flips for you,
Said
Prism.
good grief, Lori. Your foot was heavy if it took a plane to catch up to you, LOL.
Quit sexualizing the
Garfield
women,
gets around.
Prism. Stop doing that.
Said aircraft. One scuba dude. Said first time T-Rex and scuba talked on the same chat together, LOL. Lori G. Said Mike, that's a good one. Big Said hey Lori G. Lori G. Said hey Big Jeet C. Rick. Said bridges will freeze at 32 degrees. Oh wait, it's summer. RLT 78. Said hey Prism, good to see you around. Prism Blue. Said gotta go. Night all. Bye ladies. Lori G. Said take care Prism. CW Sharp. Said Bobby or Mud from the mudslides in the Los Angeles hills. Good luck going downhill, LOL.
Right.
icy, but not until winter. Jean said, "Good evening, Bobby. I'm ready to hit the thumbs up button for you now."
Well, thank you, Jean. Thank you. How you doing?
CW Sharp said, "Garfield, it is for the same reason you park in a driveway and drive on the parkway." John J. Gubbins Jr. said, "Hello everyone from Naruto."
John, how you
Rick
doing?
said, "You just never know."
Can't never tell in this
Rick
day and age.
said, "Hey John." Mike said, 287, almost there. Big Herb said, "Interstate for
Let's
the 300
go.
boom and then gotta call it a night."
10 for
Garfield gets around. Said, "Dang, New Mexico Transportation Department is too lazy to go flip the bridge icy signs for summer."
Right.
John the Beagle Dad said, "You guys still going?" Rick
John, how you doing?
said, "Hey Jean."
This is a new stream
Susan S. Orbiskin
from this
said,
morning.
"Hey John J."
It's not the same stream from this morning.
Susan S. Orbiskin said, "Hiya Jean." ER said, "Mike, he has a long blocked list, but I'm proud to be on it."
Dang it. No doubt.
Garfield gets around. Said, "CW to LOL. Too funny." Susan S. Orbiskin said, "Hey Beagle Dad." Nola Kremer said, "I guess New Mexico officials figure drivers know a bridge doesn't ice up in 100-degree weather." Mike said, "LOL BR, me too." Lori G said, "BR." Rick said, think it's all males list." Buddy Reed said, "BR, my name is just below yours." May said, "Hi Lori G." Susan S. Orbiskin said, "Face blue smiling buddy." Lori G said, "Hi May." Jean C. Alice Usher said, "Hi May." Tater 12 said, "Looks like the air is turning black."
Kind of black. Really?
Jean
How you doing, Tater?
said, "Bobby, I'm doing good, thank you. When you closed down on the 4th, were you able to catch a view of some fireworks from a truck stop? Smiley face emoji."
No, there weren't any fireworks
said,
around where I
"Couple
was
more
at.
also buddy." Lori G said, "Hi Jean. Good evening." Mike said, "I saw him once and said hi. Never saw him again, LOL." Big Herb said, "This
Dang.
truck really does have a common turn signal cadence." Mike Monroe 81 said, "Large Marge sent me."
Large Marge sent you? No damn
said,
mercy.
"Hiya Jean."
Tell Large Marge I said hi.
Said, "Hi Alice Jeetsy." John J. Gubbins Jr. said, "Is Meg tired today? She I running a little behind in the chat."
I think she's caught up. She's working hard though. She has been today. She had an espresso shot before the
Said, "Hello
stream
Susan
started.
S. RLT 78 said, "Same here Mike." Susan S. Orbiskin said, "Mike." Rick said, "Bobby, what did you say to Jean's question?"
I said there wasn't any firecrackers around where I was
Garfield
at.
gets around. Said, "At Lori G, what city are you located in, Kansas?"
So I didn't see any.
Tater 12 said, "Rolling was through Ducktown yesterday." Houston State
Food uptown yesterday.
said, "Choo choo, right along gang."
Houston, dang, you did.
Jean said, "Hello Rick."
How's it looking out in Ducktown?
Jean said, "Hello Lori G." Lori G said, "Garfield home is north of Topeka by Nebraska. I live in Texas now." Buddy Reed said, "Only 5 behind. If Meg did not stop Bobby, but were you able to get anything for your tooth?
No.
Susan S. or Biscuit?
No, I didn't get anything
Said
from it,
ROT.
too. I got some
Said I
leaves,
didn't hear
but
any go off either. But they could have been setting them up in the yard the way my hearing is. No one covered.
set them up in
Said
the yard.
people complain about the cost of food, but seem to find plenty of cash on expensive fireworks.
Right.
Aussie Baywatch. Said 10 to midday. 5 to 300. RLT 70.
Man, we got
Said Susan.
10 to 8 here.
Said Day. I missed Elephant Bud.
Elephant Bus.
LLC 517. Said Nola. You can say that 1,000 more times. I couldn't agree more. Alice Usher. Said hi Ozzy. Lori G. Said hi Baywatch. Blake Cage. Said there's not much traffic tonight.
There never is down through here.
Said WB me.
There's never too much traffic down this stretch.
Susan S. or Biscuit. Said WB me.
Welcome back, man.
Jean. Said hello Alice. One scuba dude. Said me that is a good thing to miss, it could get messy. Melvin. Said Canada is always ahead of us when it comes to the 4th of July thing, but they're off July 1st, and we put them off July 4th. Rick. Said Mercy. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said face blue smiling scuba. May. Said nice me. Lori G. Said me you are awesome. Dennis Mechanic. Said Day. Mike. Said bagging if you missed an elephant butt. Susan S. or Biscuit.
Right.
Said cool me. Garfield gets around. Said the elephant butt. LOL. That would be you. LOL.
It's not
Aussie
big, it's
Baywatch.
fun.
Said g'day Alice, Lori. The Jamaican cheese samba. Susan S. or Biscuit.
Vegemite cheese.
Said face blue smiling Mike.
That stuff's horrid. I don't see how y'all eat it. But I didn't mix it. I just put it straight on my finger and tasted it. That might be that might have been the breaking point for me. You know, I didn't put it on bread.
Said Garfield.
I didn't put butter on it. Maybe I should try it one day like that.
Said congrats Sandra. Meg. Said boom boom boom. WYOBT. Said boom 301.
Boom,
WYOBT.
guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen, are freaking awesome.
Mike.
Thank you.
Said course I
Thank
couldn't
you.
hit a bull in the butt
Thank you
with
so
a big
much
spittle.
for over 300 thumbs
No
up.
one
We're out here
better.
driving on game.
Said
Really do
elephant hunting is outlawed in
appreciate
the USA.
it. Snatch,
Me. Said boom.
snatch some
Rick.
salt from the salty
Said you
crew.
boom.
Butter up that popcorn. Enjoy the rest of the ride. Now we do love the Misfits around here. How much do we love the Misfits?
Dennis Mechanic.
Freaking
Said Lori
bunches.
High. Aussie Baywatch.
I gotta go in and get me some
Said
Elite.
Yo Dog Boom. Alice
So,
Usher. Said hi.
There ain't no truck stops
Susan
between
S.
here and
or
there.
Biscuit. Said Mike.
I'm actually gonna have to go in here and get it.
WYOBT. Said eyes pink heart shaped popcorn yellow striped smile. Fluffin' bunches.
Fluffing
Dennis
bunches.
Mechanic. Said Susan High. Buddy Reed. Said click it, or ticket. Garfield gets around. Said boom baby. 300 plus.
Boom shakalaka.
Me. Said I see T or C. Rick.
T or C.
Said this family freaking rocks.
I can't do.
Garfield gets around. Said
Elephant
freaking
butt.
bunches.
Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta stop and get some because I just happen to think I've only got 2 Elite left.
Lori G. Said Garfield, are you from Kansas too? WYOBT.
There ain't no
Said
truck
LOL,
stops.
I gotta remember to USC the new emoji. Great job, May.
And go ahead and
Garfield
grab me
gets
some
around.
rolls while I'm in here.
Said truth or consequences. Richard Bishop. Said hello there Lori G, Susan S and Bobby back home safe.
Welcome home.
CW Sharp. Said take medicine with food.
Yeah. The only thing I want to get is bowls and a leave. That's it. I ain't gonna be in there for
Rick.
a long time.
Said Bobby make shopping list fast.
I'm just getting two things. Just the two things.
Dennis McCanich. Said I seen a buffalo jump on a school bus.
What?
Nola Kremer. Said can anyone name the game show host that hosted the game show Truth or Consequences in the 1960s? Lori G. Said hi Richard, glad you are home safe Jeezy. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said YT is being janky face orange raised eyebrow.
IT is
Mike.
always janky.
Said CW Tur that's how I got fat, too much medicine LOL. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said WB Richard B. Soul Dasher Joni. Said boom. Deborah Warner.
We done boom, Johnny.
Said say what? Lori G.
Say what?
Said Dennis.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go in along. I'm gonna get some bowls and some leaves because I forgot to get the leaves back there at the Loves.
Deborah Warner. Said okay boom. Richard Bishop. Said Lori G much taller tonight in the 70s. Deborah Warner. Said Bobby that's what I just said say what?
Say what?
H. Carl Johnson. Said Bob Barker hosted it in the 60s.
Bob Barker did?
CW Tur Sharp. Said Mike you are right that must have been it. LOL.
I didn't know Bob Barker did. I thought it was somebody else.
Garfield gets around. Said at Lori G no not from Kansas. Grew up here in New Mexico and now back here after living in Utah, California. Russ the Hunter. Said hey Bobby.
Russ, how you doing? I shouldn't be in there but about maybe 10 or 15 minutes, maybe. No more than that, because like I said, I'm only getting the two things. So, for everybody
Susan
that wants to
S.
hang
or
out,
Biscuit.
I'll be back in a
Said
few.
hiya Russ.
If you don't want to hang out, well, I'll catch you next time around.
Russ the Hunter. Said hey Susan. Richard Bishop. Said howdy Russ the Hunter Lobster. Lori G.
Rock lobster.
Said Garfield bless you for looking after your mom. Rick. Said cooler in the 70s Ill Street down the street LOL.
I'll be right back, y'all. It's nice and breezy out here.
Russ. Geo79. Said I'm in for the whole ride. Edward S. Said gonna take one wheel. Russ the Hunter. Said hey Alice. Wampus Cat. Said and we're almost off. Rick. Said shh. Deborah Warner. Said say what? In a Holofestile Luther. Said Karen Ella Nola Kremer yay. Garfield gets around. Said thanks Lori G appreciate it. Richard Bishop. Said hello there Wampus Cat. Deborah Warner. Said hi everyone took a shower and I'm all cleaned up and going. Wampus Cat. Said Halo Richard B. Lori G. Said Garfield, you are welcome. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said hi Karen. Russ the Hunter. Said hey Deborah. Garfield gets around. Said Lori G. Where are you in Texas? Lori G. Said howdy Wampus. Nola Kremer. Said Bob Barker had a long, fantastic career. Geo79. Said over the counter. Mess are the cheapest at Walmart. Deborah Warner. Said hello there Richard Bishop Susan everyone Wampus Cat. Lori G. Said Garfield I'm in Houston. One Scuba Dude. Said Lori, I went for about a 40-mile ride in the truck today, the first since I got it back. Said Scuba, that's nice, I know you are glad to have it back. Ida Holofestyle Luther. Said, Karen L. hand pink waving at Susan S. or Biscuit. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said Deborah. Wampus Cat. Said Halo Lori G. Deborah Warner. Said wow that's cool Scuba. Richard Bishop. Said hello Deborah Warner, how's my 40-mile neighbor doing today? LOK 517. Said when I was a kid, I wanted to be a game show host because of Bob Barker. LOL. LOK 517. Said hello Wampus. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said LOK. Soul Dasher Joni. Said BBBBBLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLll. Said LOK 517. Deborah Warner. Said I'm doing okay, just my right eye's redder than my left, but I'll be okay. Garfield gets around. Said Lori G. Summer in Houston. Whoa. Hot and humid. Had a girlfriend there long ago. Would go see her and I don't think I have sweated so much. LOL. LOK 517. Said Susan. If I look at my life right now, it didn't quite work out that way. LOL. Mike. Said poor or poor Meg, whichever you want huh? Rick. Said Scuba everything good with the truck. LOK 517. Said I was so sad when he retired back in 2007. Deborah Warner. Said okay in the choppa. Lori G. Said Garfield I'm sure. It's toasty here but I like it. Mike. Said dang spell wreck one of them was poor. One Scuba Dude. Said that's better than being the host on the Gong Show LOL. CW Shark. Said ilk you would have had a reserved parking space at work LOL. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said LOL LOK, that talk.its still not too late to be a game show host. Party face. Lori G. Said Scuba. One Scuba Dude. Said yes Rick. Stu Baidazo. Said what's your 20, little buddy? Rick. Said good Scuba. Ida Holofestyle Luther. Said, Karen L at LOK 517, were you around for Art Linklater show? LOK 517. Said you're right Susan, but time is running out. LOL. Garfield gets around. Said Lori G. Lots going on in Houston. Always had a great time going there. Galveston too. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said okay. Baidazo. Said boom 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 everybody say wayo. LOK 517. Said at Idaho Festile Luther that was before my time. Born in 1979. Nola Kremer said I always wanted to live with the folks on Gilligan's Island to get away from it all. One Scuba Dude said Rick, they did a great job blending the paint job to match. Mike said borrow time, a lot of us paying that high interest. Susan S. or Biscuit said me too Nola. Lori G said Garfield Galveston is my favorite place to go. And Austin, there is so much to do around here. Michael Gregory said Wayu. Molly Davis said Lori, did you have a good day? Ida Hulafestyle Luther said at LOK 517, guess I'm showing my age, LOL. Garfield gets around said Lori G, someday I would love to go to a Houston Texans game. Lori G said Scuba, that's awesome. I'm happy for you. Geo79 said hi Scuba Dude. One Scuba Dude said thanks Lori. One Scuba Dude said hello Geo. Said Scuba, that's great. I paint cars on my own though. I would never do it for anybody. You just never know the outcome if they will be happy with it. Lori G said Garfield, me too. I like the Texans. My favorite team will always be the Chiefs. I love the Texans QB. He is a great guy. Alice Usher said night y'all. Richard Bishop said howdy Scuba Dude and Geo79. Nola Kremer said love to live on a deserted island. The billionaires are buying for sale islands all the time it seems. One Scuba Dude said hello Richard. Stu Baidazo said who let the dogs out? Hoo hoo hoo. Lori G said Molly, my day was good. Garfield gets around said Lori G went to the 1989 Texas Jam at the Astrodome. Joe King Carrasco, Fabulous T-Birds, Stevie Ray Vaughan and The Who. It was awesome. Molly Davis said Lori, what did you do today? Lori G said good night Alice. Rick said night Alice, take care. Aisha Collins said hey buddy. Susan S. or Biscuit said take care Alice. Richard Bishop said does anyone remember the Houston Oilers?
Man, look at that sunset.
Me.
It's pretty wicked looking. Y'all are just getting like a piece of it, but still it looks pretty good.
Said I saw that Rick. Good show. CW Shark. Said good one, Mike. Deborah Warner. Said Susan, I love that you make me laugh, lol. All you guys make me laugh, I just feel myself off the ceiling many times, lol. Lori G. Said the Oilers or the Titans now. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said wasn't me. Garfield gets around. Said Nola the astronome is still there. Saw it on a live shot earlier today. Told Mom I can't believe it's still standing after all this time, but glad it is. Lori G. Said Deborah. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said yes, Lori. Molly Davis. Said I think Lori G broke Meg, lol. Richard Bishop. Said hello there, Nola Kemener. Dennis McCanninch. Said I am still trying to do DoorDash to get mares. Rick. Said me yes was a good hit. LOK 517. Said when I think of the Oilers, I think of 35 minus 3. WYOVT. Said LOL wasn't me. Dennis McCanninch. Said green name LOL. Deborah Warner. Said thank you Glory G, love you guys, smiling face with 3 hearts, smiling face with 3 hearts. Lori G. Said Molly I probably did. Deborah Warner. Said smiling face with 3 hearts, smiling face with 3 hearts. One scuba dude. Said we can blame it on Lauren, she's not here. Molly Davis.
Blame it on Lauren.
Said Lori my day was not great. Lori G. Said love you too, Deborah. You have such a great spirit. Richard Bishop. Said LOK, who ended up getting the 3 points. Mike. Said Meg gets lazy when Bobby leaves.
Yes, she does.
Susan S. or Biscuit. Said Glory G, that's your new name. Lori G. Said Scuba, she gets blamed for everything. Garfield gets around. Said Houston Oilers. Houston Oilers. Houston Oilers number 1. Deborah Warner. Said I'm thinking about you, Molly, smiling face with 3 hearts, smiling face with 3 hearts. Molly Date.
God bless that freaking fly. That son of a gun.
Bestile Luther. Said, Karen L, and he bets he comes back with more than 2 items.
I did.
Susan S. or Biscuit. Said Garfield.
I got me some milk.
LOK 517. Said Richard. They blew a 35-3 lead in a playoff game in 1993-92 season to the Bills. The biggest comeback in history at that time and something unbelievable to watch.
Yeah, I got me
or
some milk.
Biscuit. Said Lori, me too. Lori G.
I had to get a half
Said
freaking
Garfield, I
gallon.
can't wait until football season. Yee. Deborah Warner. Said, hey, do you see that sky over on your right? Oh, is that gorgeous?
Look at that, man.
Molly Davis. Said Deborah, I went swimming for 2 hours with my brother and niece and nephew, and all they did was argue the whole time.
Look at
Soul
that.
Dasher Joni. Said bet he comes back with a drink. Lori
No,
G.
I didn't. I mean, I got
Said
milk,
face
but
blue smiling Susan.
I didn't get like
Richard
just a
Bishop.
drink.
Said, well, Susan S. and Lori G. getting about my bedtime, have a safe and restful night. Nola Kremer. Said bet he comes back with 3 drinks.
Dang.
LOK 517.
That lightning that went through that.
Said same here, Lori G. football. It's fall time also.
Right after we turned,
79.
a streak of lightning went
Said
through
see
that
you next time, Richard.
sunset.
Susan S. or Biscuit. Said Richard, sleep well. Deborah Warner. Said at my house I used to sit out and watch the sky. It wasn't like the country, but I used to see the sun come up, go down, and I would just sit and watch every day, and I miss that. Lori G. Said Richard, good night, I always enjoy reminiscing with you. Molly Davis. Said Lori G, I sent you something. Lori G. Said LOK 517, that's right. Garfield gets around. Said Lori G, yes. Oilers are the Titans now. One scuba dude. Said Bobby got lost and looks like we are missing a sunset. WYOBT. Said pretty sky. Nola
Dang,
Kremer.
is she that far
Said
behind?
used to like college football, but with all the players getting paid now, it's just another pro football league to me. Lori G. Said okay Molly. Lori G. Said thank you Garfield and Susan. Molly Davis. Said what a gorgeous sky. Mike. Said I don't know about reminiscing, but I like to remember stuff face orange raised eyebrow.
I like to remember
Garfield
stuff.
gets around.
Dang, oh.
Said Lori G. Once in a while the Titans wear the throwback uniforms, which are the old Oilers uniforms.
There's some
Susan
lightning in
S.
that,
or
man.
Biscuit. Said face blue smiling Mike. CW Sharp. Said that sky does look stunning.
Yeah, it
Lori
does.
G. Said Mike. Molly Davis. Said Lori G. You did break Meg, shame on you. Deborah Warner.
See if y'all can see the
Said that
lightning
is a
flashing.
super. Deborah Warner.
Look at that.
Said that is a super yupper. Lori G. Said Garfield, I hope I can see that sometime so cool. Nola Kremer. Said the Titans probably wear the old Oilers unis to save money. May. Said Garfield are the throwback uniforms, baby blue and white. One scuba dude. Said when Bobby leaves Meg always fluffs up. Lori G. Said sorry about that Molly. Lori G. Said scuba yep. H. Carl Johnson. Said I think Bobby got lost in Wally World. Nola Kremer.
No,
Said Meg is probably holding out for a raise in pay.
I was wanting
Molly
some
Davis.
milk, and
Said Lori, you're in trouble, LOL.
all they had
Susan
was
S.
half gallons. I had to go
Orbison.
back to the back to
Said
get them.
LOL Scuba, yep, she's lost without Bobby. Garfield gets around. Said Nola, same here. With all the money and the transfer portal, the NCAA has destroyed college football. Only the huge schools will benefit now. Deborah Warner. Said Bobby's back, we have to be good now, LOL, just kidding.
I've been
Rick.
back.
Said Lori, are you wearing camo tonight, LOL? Deborah Warner.
That
Said Yepper, I was just
that
mentioning
video didn't do
moment.
that sky justice
S.
at all.
Sinensky. Said I think I saw some lightning ahead.
Yeah, there's
was
lightning over in that
mechanics.
sunset.
Said Bobby Susan did it. Deborah Warner. Said that is a super. Susan S. or Biscuit.
Biscuit did it.
Said Deborah,
It wasn't
good
Johnny.
luck getting us to behave.
Right.
Geo79. Said a swim sailor S. Sunset.
Oh, there was some
Molly
lightning.
Davis. Said Lori, you fixed Meg. Lori G. Said no Rick, but I probably should be. Deborah Warner. Said Yepper Megas fixed LOL. Lori G. Said Dennis. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said Dennis is spreading rumors. Rick. Said Lori LOL. Mike. Said oh good night in the morning. Meg is 40 miles behind.
Yeah, she's
Garfield
back.
gets
She's
around.
behind.
Said New Mexico does have some beautiful sunsets. Lori G. Said Rick. JH7. Said hello, good
Dang
evening,
it.
Bobby boy. What a difference this evening than last evening. And I'm your 317 light.
317,
Buddy
let's
Reed.
go.
Said usually, the guilty dog barks first.
Yep.
Garfield gets around.
You know what I did?
Said
Forget.
Bobby Meg went to sleep while you were in the store.
I needed some freaking
Deborah
plastic
Warner.
forks and I
Said
didn't get
smiling
them.
face with 3 hearts, smiling face with 3 hearts.
I know. Don't say it,
Lori
Rick.
C.O.
I told you to make
Said
a
hey
list.
Bobby, pay everyone. Lori G. Said Buddy. Molly Davis. Said Bobby, thank you so much for doing this live stream. For me, I really enjoy it, especially when I'm stressed. Lori G.
You're welcome.
Said hey Lori C. People hugging. Deborah Warner. Said I was
Thank
trying
you
to
for
kill a
hanging
fly
in.
that was trying to get in my coffee today with the creamer and knew that my hand was coming and it took off. JH7. Said oh I thought you made. JH7. Set it to your stopping point.
No.
Savs 83. Said hey Bobby.
Sam, thank
Susan
you.
S. or Biscuit. Said hey Lori C.O. We need you tonight.
If you're still here, I know
Rick.
she's way behind.
Said I don't see the 5-finger high fiber or Lori LOL. Lori C.O. Said Lori G. People hugging. H. Carl Johnson. Said, did you get the Olive and Bowls?
Yeah, I got the Olive bowls and
Said, hi, Lori C. Lori C.O.
I got a thing of milk too.
People hugging. Deborah Warren.
Eggs are a little better with
Said,
milk in
beautiful,
them.
beautiful.
They just are.
Buddy Reed. Said, hello, Lori. Olivia P. Said, hi.
Hello, Olivia.
Lori C.O. Said, oh, what happened? One scuba dude. Said, the fly swatter been handy. Lori C.O. Said, buddy, how are you all? Deborah Warner. Said, that's what I need. I need some milk in the dining room. They don't give you enough, LOL. Skullborough. Said, hi all.
Skull, how you
Dennis
doing?
Mechanic. Said, looks like a storm.
Yeah, it does.
Lori G.
I probably
Said,
get to
Rick,
sit
he
through
doesn't stay long.
another good
Deborah
storm.
Warner. Said, it is an awesome, awesome sky. JH7.
The lightning is coming down
Said,
up there
I
in
clicked
front of
with
us.
saying sunset gorgeous. Rick. Said, we saw lighting while you were in the store, Bobby.
Did you?
Lori
Can't
C.O.
throw them in.
Said, pretty view. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said, LOL, Lori C.O. Just the typical rowdy crew, just happy you're here.
Did
Lori
you say
C.O.
Brady Crew?
Said, how you all doing?
Lori
Jeezy
C.
all.
How you do?
Rick. Said, Lori, I think it's a recording. Buddy Reed. Said, things are good, Lori. Is life treating you well? Geo79. Said, hi, Lori C.O. Garfield gets around. Said, at LOK 517 I watched that playoff game. It was incredible. Lori C.O. Said, Susan, haha, cool, I'm doing good and hope you're doing well. Good to be here. Rick. Said, I keep checking to see if he's lurking. Susan S.
Who, me?
or Biscuit. Said, glad to hear that, Lori C.O. Lori
Lurking.
C.O. Said, buddy, I'm glad things are good for you. I'm going good. Jeetsy all. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said, here. Lori C.O. Said, Geo. Lori G. Said, Rick, I'm so glad you do. Thank you. Deborah Warner. Said, here we go, everyone enjoy the ride with Bobby smiling face with 3 hearts, smiling face with 3 hearts. JH7. Said, I clipped the sunset. One scuba dude. Said, hello, Lori C. smiling face with 3 hearts, people hugging. Rick. Said, Lori, no worries, it's fun. JH7. Said, I think Meg is behind.
Yeah, a little
Lori
bit.
C.O.
A little bit.
Said, hey, scuba dude. SC Nightski.
She getting caught
Said,
up
Meg is
though.
so far behind. By the time she reads this, I will be watching tomorrow's stream. Lori C.O.
Probably.
Said, scuba smiling face with 3 hearts, people hugging. Soul Dasher Joni. Said, they were doing my sugar. Did he get a drink? Lori G.
No, I didn't
Said,
get a
Rick,
drink,
it sure
Johnny.
is. I'm over here laughing. Rick.
I mean, I
Said,
got
LOL.
some milk, but it
Right
wasn't.
on.
I
Said,
didn't get
hi
the milk
all.
to drink. I got the
Deborah
milk
Warner.
for
Said, it
for
did
my
look
eggs.
like some storm
Brett,
clouds
how
and
you
looked
doing?
really weird with a weird shape. Ozzy Baywatch. Said, 333 Make-A-Wish.
333.
Lori
Make a
C.O.
wish. Oh
Said, hey,
man, that
Brett.
lightning.
Deborah Warner. Said, hey guys, I saw the lightning on my TV. I saw it, LOL. Buddy Reed. Said, Meg saved it all so that you could hear it. Lori
Alright.
C.O. Said, pretty view. One scuba dude. Said, 10:28 p.m. here. Deborah Warner.
We got 8.
Said, oh, Bobby,
32
Bobby,
here.
so you're going to have to eat
Dang,
with your
28,
fingers,
29,
LOL.
30, 31,
Rick.
30. She's 4 minutes
Said, Bobby,
behind.
I told you to make a list, LMFAO. I was typing when you said that, LOL. Mike.
Right.
Said, LOL, buddy, that must be it. Savs83. Said, love you, Bobby.
We love you
Deborah
too.
Warner. Said, 9:38 p.m. here in North Aurora, Illinois.
I love
Ozzy
y'all.
Baywatch. Said, g'day, Savannah. Lori G. Said, hey, Savs. Savs83. Said, hey, everyone. Garfield gets around. Said, reset Meg. She's way behind.
Yeah, she'll
But
just
we
have
could
to
all
get caught
been
up.
talking for 5 minutes to let her catch up.
Yeah, she'll just have, she'll get
Said,
caught
hi,
up.
Savs. Brett Alt. Said, hi, Garfield.
Dang it,
Buddy
man.
Reed.
That's a bad
Said,
storm.
hello, Savs.
Wonder if it's moving this way.
JH7. Said, is this in New Mexico? The stork is. H. Carl
Yeah, this
Johnson.
is New Mexico.
Said, Bobby, I put milk in with my scrambled eggs.
Yeah, it's
I have a
just better
grocery list
that
on
way.
my phone, and I Said Hans Garfield some lasagna. Lori G. Said hi Martin, high five. Foster F. Said I'm back after dinner, Bobby and all.
Made it back after dinner,
Heather.
right on.
Said the weather doesn't look good. Alex
And look,
Silva.
Garfield, 22 miles
Said it is
ahead.
getting dark.
Yeah,
Deborah
it is.
Warner. Said Sandy didn't mean to bite me, but she missed me, but I felt her teeth sort of, because she was fighting with Skipper. I can't remember the name of the car, it wasn't the Trailblazer. Martin Trejo. Said hugs for you, Lori. Elizabeth M. Said Meg is 5 minutes, 28 seconds.
Yeah.
Lori G.
The
Said
stream will
hi,
be over
Heather
by the time
W.
she gets caught up.
Martin Trejo. Said are you on Interstate 25, Mr. Bobby?
Yep.
Heather.
25.
Said impact
Interstate
y'all.
25.
Lori G.
Welcome back, Heather.
Said same to you, Martin. Deborah Warner. Said hello there, Heather. Mike. Said hi, Heather. Heather. Said thank you, Lori. Lori C.O. Said hey, Bobby, glad you're doing well.
Thank
GC.
GT,
Lori G. Said welcome back, Foster app. Buddy Reed. Said Heather's Weather. That's funny. Deborah Warner. Said hello there, Martin. Heather. Said Mike and Deborah hi. Elizabeth M. Said Meg 5 minutes 28 seconds behind.
5 minutes.
Brett Alt.
Dang.
Said hi, Heather.
Yeah, she won't get caught up by the time we
Profile
stop.
pic, by the way. Savs 83. Said are you coming by? Lori G. Said Buddy. Foster app.
I run
Said, "Thanks, Lori
southeast
G."
in the summertime. I
Deborah
don't go
Warner.
west at all.
Said thank you, Bobby. We
That I
love
know of.
Tasha too.
Or I hadn't ever
Leno.
before.
Said I'm headed to bed. Bye everyone.
Tyler,
Susan
appreciate
S.
stopping in,
or
hanging out. If you're still here, we'll catch you
Said
next time
hi,
around.
Foster. Lori G. Said good night, Tyler. Take care. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said take care, Tyler. Mike. Said later, Tyler. Heather. Said back to work tomorrow. I enjoyed the beach so much today. Lori
day.
C.O. Said we love you too, Bobby. Soul Dasher Joni. Said it's going to cross I-25. He's going to get it. Brett Alt. Said as much as I love thunderstorms, you won't catch me doing a Watusi roll in the rain.
Dang it, me.
Susan S.
No
or
watch
Biscuit.
it rolls in the
Said
rain.
beach sounds like fun, Heather. Heather. Said hi, Susan, how are you tonight? Lori C.O. Said I'm in the process of trying to make a necklace for some of my crystals. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said good here, thanks, Heather. Jesus saves 8,705. Said what's up?
Oh,
Lori
not
G.
too much. Jesus saves. How
Said
you
Lori
doing?
C. That will be so pretty. Heather. Said Susan it was the views were good to LOL if you know what I mean. Foster F. Said howdy Biscuit. Great to see you. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said nice Lori C.O. Lori G. Said Heather. Ginny. Said hi Bobby, safe travels.
Hello, Jimmy.
Susan S.
Thank you.
or
Thank
Biscuit.
you. Always safe as possible.
Said Foster, always GC too. Lori C.O. Said Lori G. It's neat looking. I'm new to making things like that, so I'm going to have to just see how it turns out. Heather. Said ill behave here, sorry LOL. Jesus saves 8,705. Said where we at? Lori
And
C.O.
we're in
Said thank you, Susan.
New Mexico.
Mike.
Truth or consequences?
Said Meg is gaining going.
Good Lord. That's a bunch of
83.
windmill wings over
Said
there.
dang it. SC Night Ski. Said saying good night to all now since it's so far behind. Hope everyone has a good night.
I just appreciate
I will be
stopping in,
quietly
hanging out.
watching.
We'll catch you next time
Susan
around.
S. or Biscuit.
God, I'm about to drive
Said
right into
LOL
that.
Heather. Behaving isn't really required here LOL.
I'll be parking right in
Dennis
the middle of this.
McCann. Said Bobby what I asked you about earlier was the chat page post. JH7.
Chat page post.
Said did you have dinner yet Bobby? Susan S. or Biscuit.
I've got a burger
Said take care SC Night.
for
Savs
after I
83.
get parked.
Said Kenny starts at 2 a.m. Lori
Oh,
G.
Kenny starts at 2 a.m.
Said Susan. Heather. Said Susan, really I have so much to tell you girls here, wow.
I'll probably long be
Lori
asleep
G.
by 2 a.m.
Said Heather, do tell us.
But if he's still running in the
Once
morning when I get up, I'll
Said Lori C
Swing
has
by.
the crystal blue persuasion. Heather. Said oh Lori, I shall have not here. Lori C.O. Said
Oh man,
Scooby-Doo, is that what's that's called?
that was a heck of a
LOL.
bolt there.
Garfield gets around. Said Heather, you forgot to take me to the beach with you today. LOL. Garfield gets around, you're funny. Nola Kremer. Said Meg's on the clock. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said Heather. Brett Alt. Said you trying to get Heather in trouble, Lori G. LOL. JH7. Said Imam stayed for the thunderstorm parking nightmare. Sabs 83. Said okay. Lori CO. Said now I have crystal blue persuasion in my mind. LOL. Lori G. Said Brett I would never do such a thing. Heather. Said that was a big one, Mr. Bobby.
Yeah, it was.
Lori G.
That was a pretty good
Said
one.
Lori C. I like that song.
Oh, is she about to get caught up?
Said Lori C. a song by Tommy James and the Shondells. Brett Alt. Said yeah right, Lori G. and I'm the king of Siam. Mike. Said wow, that'll make you sit up straight. That lightning bolt.
Yeah.
Garfield
I get
gets
to park
around.
under that stuff too.
Said Heather my pick was taken when my owner John took me to Huntington Beach. Where were you that day? Lori G. Said face blue smiling Brett. Buddy Reed. Said 10:40 marker for e-turn time. Lori CO. Said Lori G. one of my favorite songs. Deborah Warner. Said hi Lori CO. Ozzy Baywatch. Said danger. Lori CO.
Danger.
Said hey Deborah. Elizabeth M. Said Meg now 1 minute 14 seconds behind. She's trying. Heather.
Trying, man. She's trying.
Said Lori and Susan me, we can go to the beach together. That would be a hoot now, wouldn't it? Susan S. or Biscuit. Said Heather, fun, fun, fun. CW Sharp. Said Bobby, oh no, storm ahead and I am running low on cigarettes, LOL.
Dang, man.
JH7. Said what town you parking in? Lori G.
This town that I'm
Said
in right
Heather,
now.
yes it would. Warn them ahead of time. Heather. Said at Garfield gets around, you're too old for me, LOL. Susan S. or Biscuit. Said face orange raised eyebrow. Sabs 83. Said later Bobby.
Says
H.
appreciate
Carl
stopping in,
Johnson.
hanging out. We'll catch you next
Said
time
what
around.
time is your appointment?
I don't have an
Ozzy
appointment.
Baywatch. Said to late. D. Michaels. Said Tommy James and the Shondells was the
The
first
pickups for this place, we don't do appointments. We just
Miss him.
the days.
Lori CO.
Like tomorrow,
Said
just
crystal
anytime
blue
tomorrow.
persuasion. Havana, it's a new vibration. Deborah Warner. Said yeah, I just peeled myself off the ceiling twice already from the TV and my phone, LOL. Brett Alt. Said Deborah on the ceiling again. LOL. Brandon Karstensen. Said dang chat is poppin' tonight. Good evening all.
It is popular.
Deborah Warner.
Brandon, how you doing?
Said you know I was thinking about this. I'm glad I'm not alone like I was at the house. Could you imagine me peeling myself off the ceiling? Even more being by myself, LOL.
I know that would be rough.
JH7. Said Albuquerque. Heather.
No, we're no.
Said Lori, I
we're
like to sit
3
people,
hours,
don't you?
2 or 3
Deborah
hours from
Warner.
Albuquerque.
Said smiling face with 3 hearts, smiling
We're almost
face
in
with
Las
3
Cruces.
hearts. Buddy Reed. Said the beach would be fun, fun, fun until her daddy takes her T-bird away.
Dang it.
Heather. Said surprise. Lori G.
Alright, y'all, I'm getting
Said,
ready to
yes, I
shut
do
this
too.
one down, so I do
Dennis
appreciate y'all
McCann.
stopping in and hanging
Said
out.
dang, I think I just seen Bambi.
And we'll catch
Nola
everybody tomorrow.
Said D. Crystal blue persuasion.
That's coming back tomorrow.
Foster app. Said howdy Buddy Reed.
It'll probably
Lori G.
be
Said Buddy.
after 10
One
o'clock.
scuba dude. Said Lori
It'll
C. now,
definitely
are
at
you
least
singing
be
that
after
song
9
in your
a.m.
mind? LOL.
in the morning,
D. Michaels.
mountain time.
Said yes was my favorite on that cassette.
Definite.
Buddy Reed. Said hello Foster app. Lori G. Said good evening Brandon. Heather. Said am I talking too much Mr. Bobby? I can slow it down.
No.
Lori
Talk
C.
all you want to.
Said I'll have it. LOL. Heather.
Alright, ladies
Said
and
I have so
gentlemen,
much to say about today.
with that being said,
Said Dasher Joni. Said it might miss you.
it might. If you didn't get the thumbs up button on the way in, by all means, get it on the way out, and we will definitely see everybody back tomorrow. That's coming back tomorrow. Chat, you are done.